really like against all odds. You didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family's done, that none of your friends have done.
I'm just gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Whatever is mine is looking for me.
You have to know what road to take to get to your final destination.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
Good evening. So, the reason I'm tardy is because y'all, what happened? Do y'all see my eye? I went on a walk and then I took one of my long walks like Jill Scott to kind of like, clear the head. And then I came back and I'm like, is is my is my eye messed up? I think help me out. Am I tripping? Is this eye is messed up, right? I'm fighting for my life. Never had allergies until I moved to Texas. What is up with that? I don't understand. Good evening. So let's get into this situation with Caresha. I don't want to say I told you so, but I did. But I wasn't telling you that to be mean. I was telling you that because I don't know. I was having one of my moments where I'm just like, oh my God, this could end her. Her creating this relationship with P. Diddy could end her. And I was seeing into the future and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to end her career. It's going to make it shorter than what it could have been. And it seems that way. And when I was speaking on her career, I was talking about the City Girls, the duo, the group. And it seems like I was right about that. So she recently sat down with Charlamagne Tha God on the Breakfast Club. I'm so confused about the Breakfast Club right now. One minute they're posting to Netflix, and then the next minute they're posting to their YouTube channel and they're posting certain interviews. I'm so confused with what's going on over there. But I was able to pull up this interview that they posted to their YouTube channel. And Caresha talks about growth, loyalty, supporting Diddy, and new music and some other things. So let's get into what she decided to sit down and talk about. I'm going to have to pause it a lot because it's copyrighted. So let me pull it up. And I'm going to put it in a smaller box. Can y'all see that? Is that good enough? Do you need me to make it bigger? Let me know. Okay. Hold on. Let me move over this way. Okay. Let me go back. Let me go back. So I went through and summarized some things. I really want to start off with let me see. Uh and I'm going to be hopping around a little bit. Let's start with her personal growth. You know what? Let's just start with the intro and then I'll just skip around a little bit. And let me speed it up. Is 1.25 okay, or should I do 1.5? Let me know. I'll do 1.25 and see how you like it, and then I'll come back and change it if we can speed it up a little bit more. Y'all think she would respect me, or y'all think it's just a male thing? Like she just respects the male opinion? Do you think she would? The video is muted? Hold on, did I not do something right? Hold on, let me, it's muted? Why did it do that? You can hear anything? Oh, hell. Oh, wait. I think I had this happen before. Hold on. Let's see. No, the move, the sound effects. Okay, let's see if it works now. Let me know if it works.
How good you feel?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm just saying, less than 1,000th of 1% of people reach that type of net worth.
I know. And that means you a hard-working man and you got
Damn.
that. And I want me a hard-working man.
What did it happen? You didn't mean up.
Can you hear it? Oh, you can. I had to take the echo cancellation off. So now I feel like I sound weird, but okay. Let's just go with it. So you can hear it? Okay, we're good. Okay.
100 though.
I didn't mean it literally,
Okay.
but I would love for him to have at least. But that don't mean nothing.
So what I was commenting on was she said in this interview that she respects Charlamagne Tha God because he keeps it real and he's very straightforward, direct. And my question was, do you think she would respect a woman being that way towards her, or does she only respect it when it comes from a man?
Money don't mean everything, But I'm just saying, like, I know I said a lot of shit, but I did mean it though.
Could you date a regular dude though? Like this, you down in Miami, dude work at FedEx, you got benefit. God damn.
And not even just that. I like what I like. I think that I'm like, I'm into nice things, and not saying that a man that work a job can't give me nice things, but I think I want to date somebody that's like in the same caliber of me.
Absolutely, I understand.
Yeah.
Now, what happened to the Caresha Please podcast? Now, everybody loved the podcast.
Okay, let me stop. Okay, let's continue. I gotta keep stopping it, and then we're gonna have to pause, then keep going, then pause, then keep going because it's copyrighted.
Okay, you were supposed to be the next Black Oprah. You said you.
I'm still the next Black Oprah.
Oprah already Black though.
But I'm like how like a person is like black, but they like black.
Gotcha. Oprah black.
No, I'm saying like it's like the hood Oprah.
From the hood, okay.
Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Let me not. I mean the hood Oprah. Like it's gonna be like Oprah, but on the hood level. Mm-hmm. And Caresha, please, I spoke to you about it. I'm just trying to find the right home, the right partner to come back for season 3.
Oh, we'd love to have you on Black Effect. Okay. But we need you to be consistent though. Like how often would you want to do it?
I think with me being an artist, realistically, and I honestly think it's a flow of things and how you do things. I think for me, Caresha Please worked because people wanted it. It was like, I want more. And on top of having a podcast, I still got to be an artist. I still got to release music. So you don't want to just see too much of me. Because it's like they got to see them. They got to have the music and then they go into the podcast. I would love to be consistent, but I also think that's what worked for me. I love the flow of it.
I love that you said that. You think artists nowadays are too overexposed?
Yes, and I think we feel like we know them too much. Mm-hmm. Like superstars back then, you just knew them as Michael Jackson or...
No shade, but Michael Jackson, we didn't need to know his business. We didn't even care to know his business because he was really, really, really talented. When you have the type of talent where you really don't have to show your face, like a Beyonce. Beyonce don't got to talk to us because she's actually talented. You know what I mean? We gonna still go to her concerts, some of us, because we know we gonna get a good show. But I'm sorry, not everyone has that range because you don't have the talent to really back it up, or you don't have nothing real to say to keep people coming back. So you have to pull antics through social media to get people invested in you. You have to come up with scandals. Nowadays, just to release, and I'm talking about like content creators, influencers, and even some celebrities, depending on the celebrity, they have to create some type of scandal. And in order to sell music, records, albums, and things like that, they can even just release their project because it doesn't sell well. So in order to bring back that type of celebrity, we have to bring back talent. I'm not being shady because I do believe that Caresha is talented. I just don't think it's music. I think it's just her showcasing her personality and her maybe even getting into like reality TV or something like that, but not it's just music to me. It's just not her strongest talent to me. I think she could expand beyond just music.
A performer. Now we know what happened with your baby daddy. We could get a police reports. We could get a 911 call. It's just too much. That it kind of leaves like, child, that's this person or that's that person. It don't give the celebrity status because it's too accessible.
Did you ever feel like you was too overexposed?
I do. I think when people know too much of your personal life, it just makes them feel like they know you on a personal level when it's not supposed to be like that.
I also want to say too that part of the culture is to flex, and when you flex, you have to tell people your business. How do I know? Because I don't flex. Because I don't want people to know my business. I don't want people all up in my business. I want you to think I'm broke, struggling, and I need help because I don't want people asking me for money. I don't want people asking me for money. I don't want people expecting things from me just because they see me flexing online. And I feel like when you start to flex online, people be pocket watching. The next thing you know, you got people asking you for this, needing favors for this. That's why it's just best for you to keep a low profile. But again, if you don't have anything of real talent, then, or real thought, or like transparency or authenticity or vulnerability, which I believe Caresha has some of that, she just doesn't lean into it, then the only other thing to do is to come on here and tell your business. That's why people be online telling their business, because they don't have like an actual skill or a talent that they can show off. The only thing they have is their personal business to tell. And Caresha was using flex culture, flexing your lifestyle as a means to get people to buy into her music, to get people to buy into her lifestyle, because she was out here promoting the city girl lifestyle.
So yeah, I do.
So, I mean, I know you had the BET reality show that you were filming. Did you take a step back from that because you felt like you was too overexposed?
Going into it, I was excited. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a reality show. But I think once I got into it, it's not really reality. Like, it's staged. It's staged.
Let me be real with you. The show got canceled. It got canceled. And she's not gonna say the show got canceled, but if you listen to her, and she talks about how she loses deals and brand deals and things like that, opportunities. That was one of her opportunities, was the reality show. And that's unfortunate because I really thought that was going to be her lane, was reality TV.
Reality. And I'm the type of person, I want everything real raw and uncut. I don't want to go back and do that again because I can't go back and do that again. Like, that's just what it was. And I think that it became too much of that it didn't feel real. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I don't like this, because they take certain sound bites and it become a whole story that's not kind of like what you signed up for. So I had to take a step back and was like, if I'm going to do something like that, I want to do it on my own.
I feel like you've been trying to find a space to be comfortable to really just express yourself.
Yeah, because I think that I am a real, raw, authentic person, and I'm not strategic. Mm-hmm. Like, I just show up as me, and whatever you get that's me. That would be your experience of me. And I think that the world now, like the world that we live in now, you gotta just move a certain way and just be so polished, and it's not fun. And I think that I can't live and be creative in a space like that. Like, I can't be my best self if I have to be strategic, or I gotta move this way. I can't do this and I can't say that. It's not fun.
I feel like, though, you know, when you see people like Cardi,
I feel like there has to be a balance. Like, you do have to be strategic, especially when it comes to having a brand, being a public figure. You have to know what moves to make and what moves not to make. And part of being strategic was this interview. Is Caresha trying to create a redemption because she needs one? And is she aware that she needs a redemption, a public redemption? Or is she unaware that she actually needs a redemption? That's the thing that's kind of blowing me. It's like, it doesn't seem like this interview was strategic. And the fact that she admits that I don't want to be strategic because she thinks that that's being fake, that's not being real. But does she not understand that this is hurting her, though? Like, this is a hindrance to her brand, her career, her launching her solo career. It is a hindrance. So because she decided to link herself with a man like Diddy that had a reputation and a history like Diddy, you do have to move strategic moving forward, because now you linked yourself to someone that a lot of people don't like, and they don't like him because of the things that he has done to other people, regardless of what or how he has treated you. It's what he has done to other people. So you can't just dismiss other people's experience and just be like, well, this is the experience I had with him. That's irrelevant, especially when a video comes out of this man dragging a woman down a hall in a hotel. So you have to think about that. You have to think about how that looks. And you know, it's so crazy because I actually relate to Caresha with being real, because sometimes being real, you think that you could just be reactive and not think about the consequences of being reactive. Like you think you could just speak your mind, you could just say whatever because it's being real, or you could just do whatever because it's being real. But the reality is you always have to think about the perception of it, and you always have to think about the impact, and you have to think about the cause and effect, that being real sometimes can actually be a hindrance to you when really you're just being reactive. It actually shows your level of immaturity. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because that's something that I had to reflect on when it comes to myself. Like my whole real talk with Yoni, like that era was just me being reactive and me not thinking about the impact, the cause and effect, me not thinking about how me just being reactive, how it was negatively impacting those that I was trying to reach or connect to. So if you're trying to create a redemption publicly, Caresha, you have to think about how you're coming off. And in this video, it comes off like she's with whatever Diddy is with, and that's just not a good look.
For example, Cardi's always herself. I feel like she made it to where you can be yourself if you're not afraid to be yourself. I think sometimes people be afraid to be themselves, but they're afraid of the backlash of what social media will say.
I get crucified for being myself. Like I can say anything. And it just, when it comes to certain people, they take it a certain way. It's like if this person said, but when I say it, I'm saying the same shit. But when I said it, it's just.
The reason why Cardi does so well, and it's something I've noticed about her, is that she admits her wrong, and she admits and she takes responsibility. She may not change her behavior, but she'll verbally acknowledge, I messed up, this was wrong, I shouldn't have done that. I was afraid to tell my mom I was pregnant. Like she's very transparent in that way. And I feel like Caresha is just not. It's the reason why it doesn't work. It's the reason why it doesn't stick, because that's the part of Cardi that no one likes to acknowledge. The reason why she tends to get away with things is because she owns the parts about herself that people are calling her out for. And if she wouldn't own it and people would just keep calling her out, then she probably would be in the same boat as Caresha. But she'll literally say, she'll acknowledge at minimum. She won't change her ways because that's her authenticity. But I'm saying like she'll own it though. She won't run away from it. And to be honest, I think people would respect Caresha more if she was just more real about why she's so loyal to Diddy in a real way, other than, oh, well, I didn't have that experience. That's not going to be good enough for people. Like you have to make yourself accountable while also choosing to be connected with someone. You can't just say, well, I'm loyal because I had this experience. That's just not going to be enough for someone. It's not going to be enough for the public. And then also you have to consider colorism as well. Like colorism plays a major role in this as well. Why some women are able to get away with things that other women are not, which is another reason why, unfortunately, she would have to be more strategic in how she moves and how she conducts her business and her brand. So that plays a major role too. But one thing that I can honestly say about Cardi is she'll at least acknowledge why people are dragging her, and she'll say, y'all right. You know what I mean? Like she's not gonna fight us like, no, I'm not wrong, like like that. She'll literally be like, but what do you want me to do though? Like I did it. I realized that probably wasn't the right thing to do or the smartest thing to do, but I still did it. And that's the thing that people don't acknowledge when it comes to Cardi.
It's like, well, goddamn, like I just said, I think it's, I can't explain it, but I feel like I be myself. I'm myself. I'm not never like, I say a lot of shit. I do a lot. That's me just being myself. Like I like to go live, have fun. That was another thing that people loved about me, my personality, going live with Santana, just getting on there. We just talking shit about each other. That's us and I.
Did anybody question why this interview was in black and white?
A natural form. Some people understand and some people don't. Some people like, that can never be my friend. That's our friend group. That's how we have fun. But it's all love. We understand each other.
Yeah, I don't think people dislike you like they act like they do on social media. I think that you give them a response. And when you give somebody a response, they keep messing with you just to get a response.
Yeah.
What did I just say about being real? Being reactive does not make you real. It makes you easily triggered. That's what I'm saying. That being real is all about you knowing who you are and you showing up consistently in that. But she thinks being real is just being reactive. And this is why people will come at her sideways regardless of what the situation is. It could be good, bad, or indifferent. People are still going to come at her sideways because they know that she's reactive. But in her mind, she thinks that she's just being real. But in reality, she's just being reactive, and people know that. So they know that they can poke the bear and get a reaction. And they know that they're going to get one every single time that they do it. So she has to ignore that.
I bet you sometimes you be hitting people and they be like, I just wanted you to reply.
No, all the time they're like, oh my God, like, bitch, fuck you.
Exactly.
Like, why you fucking with me? I'm cool. Like, I'm really a cool person. I'm a human. Like, I feel like I'm a great human. Like, I am a genuine person. If I don't like you, I ain't even coming your way. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. But, and I'm literally, like, I come from nothing. So people have to understand, like, this is how I was brought up. It's still room to grow, and I still gotta, grow. I still have a lot to learn, but it's like I'm learning as I grow. Mm-hmm. And I just think that it's like from my upbringing. Like I literally grew up in Opalaka in the projects. Like I go over there, I just did my music video newsflash there, and I'm just like, I get it. Mm. People walk around like they don't dress up. It's bunny, it's slides. Like how you wake up is how you going outside. You know, it's not like it's just they in the hood.
How do you think you made it up?
I think I was always destined to be who I am because I always just had a personality. And even if I grew up in the hood, my mom dated men with money. Like her men she dated, they took care of her. They made sure her kids were straight. So she always tried to provide the best life she can. And she was like also popular. She was like a booster and she just was
booster.
Yeah.
Boosters be popular.
Yeah.
She probably had all the old Tommy
Hilfiger because they couldn't even buy all the shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was she clothes or appliances?
Clothes.
Okay, so Tommy Hilfiger polo.
Yeah. So
Charlamagne, David. Charlamagne just say, was she clothes or was she appliances? Who asks questions like that? Was she clothes or was she?
Just seeing that and just seeing her make the way, it's just, yeah.
Are you scared right now?
Scared of what?
Because you out here solo?
No, I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I think that it's a new era for me. I feel like from the time I came out, it always been, people saw me, they learned me as the city girls. I was going through the stuff with my mom. My mom went to prison. I was raising her kids. I always was like holding something down. I never really got a chance to like pour into me or just be the best version of myself or really enjoy it because I was always holding something down or had to work, extra hard. Like my mom went to prison. I had to take care of her kids. As soon as the group break up, JT go to prison. Then she come out. We go through all of this stuff that we going through. So like now I'm just like, yes, like I get a chance to be creative. I get a chance to just make my own decisions. I get a chance to just be free. Like, and I also.
And this is what's not authentic. Caresha is not free at all. Because if she really was free and she was able to like create in the way that she is wanting to, she would have never came on here and talked about her support with Diddy. And she would have all the opportunities. Because one thing I noticed is JT, she's out here preparing for Coachella. And that's someone that's like being able to freely create and be solo. Caresha has limited resources and you can tell. Like you can literally see that there has been a downgrade. And I'm not saying that to be shady. I'm saying it because when you go from here in style, design, looks, hair, makeup, and then you go down here, it's very obvious. Especially if you don't know how to do your own wigs, you don't know how to do your own makeup. Like you have an MUA come in and do like, you see a difference, and you don't see that when it comes to JT. So JT still has that free range within her solo creativity to still show up in the way that she really wants to, and then you see a degrade. And the only reason why I know that Caresha wants to be at that level was because when she had it like that, she really was. So that to me tells me that she is not as free as she's trying to make it seem. I think this is just more of a PR statement.
Learned so much from the group and just I know more of the business, so I just feel good. Like I feel happy. I feel like I'm ready. I'm not scared. I'm ready.
So who is Young Miami without the city girls, without celebrity relationships, without the headlines?
No, Young Miami is that.
You are all that.
Yeah, that's Young Miami.
Okay.
I mean, that was the start of my career, and that's everything I went through. That's shaking as Young Miami. I feel like I can't run away from that. Mm-hmm. I can't run away from.
And I want to ask this question because I know people are gonna come at me sideways. Who is buying Caresha's music? Like, I mean, it's so for real. Like, who's actually buying her music? Outside of like TikTok and using a sentence or a lyric from a song that she's created, who is really, really buying her songs? Because I could sit up here and I could do this deep dive, but ultimately it comes down to your support. Because you could easily pull me wrong by just supporting her, or the majority supporting her. But she's not getting even the support that she was getting before. She got way more support before. And I really do believe that a lot has changed since the whole Diddy situation, and the fact that she chose to support that man, write that letter in support of his character, when she could have completely stayed out of it. But she chose to insert herself. So I just want to know, like, who's actually buying her music? Who is really supporting her music like that?
Young Miami of the City Girls. I can't run away from Young Miami that went through that. Y'all saw me in every phase of my life, and y'all gonna continue to see me in my new era.
So are you trying to show people more of the evolved Young Miami, or just the real Caresha?
Both. Because I have evolved. I think the last time I came on the Breakfast Club, I probably was like in my 20s. I'm 30 now. So I do look at life different. I do see things differently. I do want to move different. Like, sometimes I'm like, dang it. Like, even though I love it, I'm like, bro, shut your ass up. Like, when I be looking back at it, like, sometimes you ever like, this.
Okay, so she wants to be this evolved person, but I don't think she's actually applying it. I think this interview is really giving PR cleanup kind of interview, because it doesn't make sense. Okay, on one hand, you talk about earlier in your childhood how you felt like you had to hold it down all the time for your mother, your siblings, probably the men that you dated. You had to hold it down, and you're still holding it down for a man that most likely probably wouldn't even hold it down for you. You're repeating what your mother did, and you're walking in her footsteps. You're putting your children in the same position that most likely you were in. It's just the only difference is that you have financial backing that most likely your mother didn't, and you're not in prison, you're not in jail. So you're still there physically, but emotionally, you're still putting them through the same trauma. Because now that you had this man in your life at one point and he was financially supporting you, and now that you're choosing to hold it down for him, that's impacting your finances, which is ultimately impacting your children, which ultimately impacts your children in the same way that it impacted you at one point. It just looks a little bit different. And so she's talking about how she's evolved and she's changed, but people want to see the change. I think people are tired of celebrities coming out just saying and giving lip service about how they're evolved, they're growing, they're changing. And people actually want to see it with your actions. People want to see it with your authenticity and your vulnerability. And it can't just be this PR interview where you're going to someone that you feel comfortable with to ask you questions. Because again, this is the second time Caresha has done an interview. The first time was Santana. And again, she's going to people that are not going to really press her and really put her in the hot seat when it comes to her choices and decisions behind Diddy. So, I mean, Charlamagne did a little bit, but not to the point where it made her kind of slightly uncomfortable. So I don't really see the evolved version. It doesn't really seem like she's listening to anyone. She's just choosing to be down and loyal. And she has to abandon herself to be loyal to Diddy. Is she aware that she is being disloyal to herself because she is forcing herself to abandon herself in order to be loyal to Diddy, and in the process it's impacting her children and her finances in the same way that most likely happened to her mother, where her mother had to self-abandon in order, and then her mother self-abandoned emotionally and physically in order to hold it down for another man. So basically she's doing the same thing. When someone's truly growing and they're evolved, they're able to recognize those type of patterns so that they don't repeat them. And it doesn't seem like Caresha has done that. It sounds good, but it doesn't seem like she's actually applying it though. This kind of reminds me of EJ, when your self-worth is stagnant and you're not really realizing that you haven't really made that much progress or growth because your self-worth is stagnant. A woman that really understands her self-worth and really understands her value would never hold it down and be disloyal to a man, A, that most likely wouldn't even be loyal to her, but B, that she would have to self-abandon herself for. Because you want to tell me that her beliefs and her values are aligned with this choice to be loyal to Diddy? She doesn't think that it's a contradiction at all? It's a huge contradiction. Especially when it comes to the city girl lifestyle that she promoted. Because maybe you could say, oh, maybe they have the same values and beliefs. Okay, but it is a contradiction when it comes to the city girl lifestyle. Because you're supposed to just get the bag and go. You're not supposed to catch feelings. You're not supposed to be heavily invested. You're not supposed to be emotionally invested. You're not supposed to fall in love. You're not supposed to do any of that. But she did all of that. So there is a contradiction here as well when it comes to her values and her beliefs. And it seems like she doesn't even understand that she had to abandon herself to be loyal to him.
This is a real thing. You go to the club, you drunk, you look at your story, you wake up and you delete all that shit. So sometimes that's how I feel. Like I look at someone, I be like, it's room for improvement there. You know, like you gotta clean up at some point. You gotta get these friends to want to, you know, like, yep.
And her cleanup is just image. Her cleanup is not internal. It's what it looks like on the outside. It's an aesthetic. It's how she's being seen and how she's being perceived. Like she wants to be perceived differently, but she doesn't want to change anything on the inside. So it's all about what it looks like. It's not about what it really is. And that's huge. Like inner work is inner work. It's something that cannot be seen. I mean, you can change your look. You can change your aesthetic. You can make yourself more modest and polished. But ultimately, you're going to find yourself back in the same cycle publicly because you didn't change your behavior. You didn't change your mindset and you didn't change your way of thinking at all. So you're just going to end up in the same spot. Changing your image is just not enough, especially in 2026. It's just not enough.
Yeah, we love real, yeah, we love authentic, but you gotta show some era of growth or elevation, or you feel
she really is.
You ain't showing up new.
But on this new album, you still giving them classic Young Miami. You still out here, you know.
You still gotta finesse me.
Yeah, you still like finessing me.
You still gotta have your hand out.
Okay.
We still gotta.
Oh, you can build your own. You doing that too?
No, of course,
yeah.
of course. But I do feel like men should be some type of support. That's the message I be trying to get through. I just feel like sometimes men, and I say this a lot because and that's why I be like, I want men with $100 million. A lot of men just see a pretty face, see a pretty body, and for them it's like, this is another bitch on my roster. Like they be building rosters. Like a lot of men are mature in mind, and
this is like the lack of growth and evolution for me when it comes to Caresha. Caresha is the $100 million man. Is she aware of that? And this is why I'm saying like self-worth stagnancy. Self-worth stagnancy is you realizing you the big dog. You the big dog. Now, I'm not saying when you deal with a man, he shouldn't be financially stable, that he shouldn't be on your level. But I'm saying you are literally putting yourself in a financial hardship for a man that is not in a position to really help you financially at all. And then you're looking for another man to come in and take care of you as if you don't have the ability, as if you don't have the range, as if you don't have the skill, you don't have the talent. It's like really crazy to me. And it's nowadays, and I'm noticing this with modern women a lot. It really be giving Mr. Krabs, like, give me $5, I need $10. As if you don't have a garden that you can attend and make some shit happen on your own. And then you don't have to let this man come in and bring you down. I noticed that a lot of girls are doing this too, where a woman has the ability to have a full garden with fruit, endless. And yet she still is seeking out a man that will come in and plow through her garden and ruin every seed that she has ever planted to grow a nice, beautiful, full garden. Because in her mind, she thinks that she needs him in that way to just sustain her lifestyle, when really she has the ability to sustain her lifestyle by attending her own garden by herself. The only thing that man can do is come in and just drag you down. Prime example was Halle Bailey. That is a prime example. Sky Jackson is another one. The men that they choose do not actually add value to the garden. They don't upkeep the garden. They don't add to the garden. They actually just come in and plow and just destroy and tear down everything that woman built alone. And then they still feel like they need a man to come in and fix and help and save. And really you don't. The only thing that man can do is just come in and destroy. And so I'm noticing like a lot of women are doing that nowadays. It's like, do you not know who the fuck you are? I mean, Halle Bailey was the Little Mermaid, and she felt like she needed DDG. She felt like she couldn't do without DDG, as if her career wasn't going to flourish without him. And it's just crazy to me. Cardi B, same thing with Stefan, same thing with Offset, same thing with Sky Jackson, same thing with Lotto. It's like these girls are not aware of their self-worth, that man can only do, the only thing that man can do is really drag you down. That's it. And that's what happened to Caresha. Her not knowing her worth, her not knowing her value. I said years ago, I was like, Caresha is the star in that relationship with Diddy. It's not Diddy. Diddy's time has expired. He is using her because she is connected to the youth. She has a community. She has a fan base. She has an audience. And he sees that. He sees her worth before she does. She can't even see it within herself. So what does he do? He comes in and he takes advantage. You don't think men can see from afar what they can get out of you just by being in community with you, just by being in close proximity to you? But women are not seeing it that way. They're seeing it like, oh, I need that man. I need that man. Keke Palmer too. And the whole time it's like, girl, you are the $100 man. You are the $100 million woman. You are the big dog. You do not need that man like that. And what I'm saying is women are putting themselves in survival mode unnecessarily, as if that man is offering or can offer more than what you can offer yourself. And then they're not even uplifting you. They're bringing you down. That's what I'm saying. That man ain't adding nothing to what you got going on. So again, ladies, this is self-worth stagnancy. When you don't realize what you can create on your own, and then you feel like you need a man, just a man. I didn't say a quality guy. I didn't say a provider. I said a man. You feel like you need a man, and the whole time, the only thing he gonna come in and do is destroy everything. And you have the ability to really make a solid foundation on your own. So there's no need. You know how there's some women out here where it's like they need a man because they really need a man for survival? You got to know when you're not that type of woman. You got to know when you could be way more picky, way more selective, because you can make some shit happen on your own. That's not a negative thing. That's not a bad thing at all. And this is why you see so many women like a Beyonce, where there are rumors that they have handlers. They have handlers. So again, it's like you got to recognize your self-worth. And that's part of the problem. It's like women are constantly chasing. It's like, what are you chasing? You are the garden. The only thing you're going to do is bump into a man that's going to take advantage of the very thing that you're not aware of. Because you don't understand your value. You don't understand your worth. You don't see it, but they do. And they're about to take advantage of it. And then destroy what you could have accumulated or created on your own. And then destroy what could have been yours. And then take it from you. And then try to take what they can make off of you for themselves. Like, how many times do we have to see that? I'm tired of seeing that. And that's the thing. It's like, Caresha, I understand where she's coming from. But you're not Mr. Krabs. You don't need $5 here, $10 here. You don't need to nickel and dime men. Like, you really don't. Not when you can co-create yourself. That's my point. And it's like women need to understand that. The only thing you attracting are men that can like just bring you down. That's it.
You have to be, as a woman, you gotta know what you want. In life, you gotta know what you want. I know what I want. So if I know that we're gonna have sex, we're gonna have sex. But you have to do something for me. And it's not prostitution. It's just, I'm a woman. Like, you gotta add value to me. And sometimes I gotta leave this situationship with something. Because if not, we fuck when we in our teens. That's something you do in your 20s.
Caresha, in the end, what did you leave with when it came to Diddy? And see, this is the thing. We have to get real selective about what we're saying and how we're saying it. Because you can't get that from just any man. Like, it has to come from a man that's actually generous. And that's another thing, is men rarely do things that are really selfless. The thing that makes a provider man so special is he's selfless. And Diddy wasn't selfless. He was using her. He was able to get something out of her. Every person that he had around him, he was able to benefit off of. When a man is truly a provider, he's selfless. Meaning he doesn't get anything out of what he's doing for you. He's just doing for you because he's generous. He wants to see you happy. He wants to see you smile. He wants to be supportive. He wants to help. But I don't think women know the difference. And there's not that many men out here that are truly generous in nature or in character. They just have money. And that was a Diddy. And she's confusing that as something that was valuable. But ultimately, in the long run, she really didn't get nothing from this relationship other than the fact that she had things taken away from her. And that's the thing. You got to know when you're dealing with a man that's going to have things taken away from you. Not adding things to what you already have accumulated for yourself.
I'm 30 now.
No, listen, I feel like a man's job is to protect and provide. I understand the logic. I'm just saying, bring the number down. 100 million?
Well, Charlamagne, that's all, man. I'm trying to go up.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm on a vacation. I got kids. Like, I'm trying to live my best life. Life is, life is weird these days. Like, I just want to live my best life if I can. And I just feel like that's what I want at this point.
You're not afraid to talk about your roster, though. I heard Caresha's Tales when you flipped the Too Short joint. Freaky Tales. Mm-hmm. What made you want to do that record?
I think it's hip hop. Mm-hmm. When I listen to like records like that, like Lil Kim, even Nicki Minaj is just coming up as a new artist. I want to have that impact. Like when people go, like people that argue my fans, like, oh, I remember she did that Too Short and she flipped it like this. Like that's what it started me.
I'm only going to
again, ladies. I'm gonna make myself so clear when I say this. A man is always going to use you and get more out of you than you can get out of him. Okay? They're, like people try to make it seem like when a man uses a woman or when a woman uses a man, it's equal. It's never equal. It's never equal. That's the reason why the feminist movement, it exists. It's because it's never equal. When a man is using you and you feel like you using that man, it's never equal at all. And when you think that it is, again, self-worth stagnancy. That is what that is. Self-worth stagnancy. There's a reason why men project dying alone on women constantly. Because they always benefit more to have a woman in their life. Every time I talk to a woman, she wants time to herself. When it's a man, he wants a woman around. It doesn't matter if it's the same woman that he had last week or a new woman. He just wants a woman around. So even when you think you're using that man, he's still benefiting more. Men always benefit more when a woman is around. It doesn't matter how much money is being exchanged. It really does not matter. And this is why you should never put a price tag on yourself, because ultimately a woman being around is priceless, especially if she's a good woman. And when you think about someone like Caresha that has the type of mentality to be supportive in hardship and hard times, that's a woman with a good heart. Like you can question her behavior, you can question how she carries herself and how she behaves, but when you look at the core of her heart and who she is, she's a very valuable person because she will be there for you. She will sacrifice, she will give you the shirt off her back. But again, a man would never do the same for her in return, and she has to be able to recognize that. So if she's able to do all of that, which a man is able to do, plus benefit from a woman's energy, a woman is always giving more. Like you have to recognize that. A woman is always giving more, a woman's always doing more. It's just, it is what it is.
I'm going to assume that everybody on the record is real, because one line is definitely real. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to assume everybody on the record is real.
It's some truth to every story.
Okay. Why do women like to shame men for eating bunkie though? Because on Freaky Tales, you say lame, goofy ass nigga always trying to eat bitch, booty ass nigga. Why are you shaming men for that?
You must be eating booty, Charlamagne.
I'm from South Carolina. I'm from the South. I mean, yeah.
That's a grown man sport.
That is a grown man sport, but why shame men for it?
I'm just saying, like, because it's like, I got 2 hoes. Why you want to eat the one that's in the back?
What if he doing both? Appetizer, entree, appetizer, whatever you into.
It's no shame to it, but it's like, you always want to eat the back and this one in the front. It's kind of like, okay. No offense to men that do it, like, shots to you.
See, I like when I hear women talk like that because you get to see what women really think. So when guys be trying to do that, y'all be talking shit about
I'm just not, I don't like that whole bed that'll be wet. Like, it's just still weird. So it's not my preference. And like, we all got preference, and I just don't like that.
Okay.
Whole man wet.
All right, let's stay on Freaky Tales. You say, you name a bunch of men, and you say
If I was in PR, that's a question. I mean, like, that's stuff I would stay away from. Because, again, like, this is what I'm talking about. Being strategic after you went through a public scandal and you were attached to somebody else, you got to think about how that comes across. Because now it really gives like you were a part of the activities, that you were in on everything that he was in on and the things that he was doing. You were in support of it when you talk like that and you have conversations like that. And it's almost like I'm putting out this song because he's in prison right now and he may listen to it. And that's like me sending like a message to him because you know that he's into that. It's like, is Caresha okay? Like, this is what I be talking about, y'all. It's like a Batman signal. Oh, I know he locked up. I'm gonna send him this record. I know he gonna, because where do you think she got the inspiration from? Real talk. Like, where do you think she got that inspiration from? Because Caresha wasn't out here talking about that stuff until after she dated that man. She was talking about golden showers, and now she's talking about this.
My billionaire nigga that stay on the island used to tell me, take that, while he fucked me for hours. Now, we know who that is. That's Diddy. In light of everything that has transpired.
Caresha, this is...
Why weren't you afraid to still say that?
Because I think that I should be able to express myself. I should be able to say my life experiences. I don't feel like I should be silenced or I can't speak on anything or I should be scared because I just was in a relationship with somebody and what we had wasn't a crime or it was wrong. So it's like, I'm expressing myself. It's music. It's my music. It's my time to tell my story and I want to have fun. I'm going to do that.
When someone, you were connected to becomes the center of serious allegations and legal issues, how do you reconcile the person you knew with the headlines everybody else sees? I
think in life you always get put in something or a situation where you gotta make a life decision and you gotta look back and say like, what makes sense for me right now? Like I can love this person, but I can love this person from a distance, or I can have a relationship with this person, but maybe I gotta come back to it. Like maybe I gotta come back around. And I think that was one of those situations.
You wrote a...
So Caresha is choosing to be cognitively distant. She knows that this song is gonna create conflict for a lot of people, and this is the thing. It's very similar to Shelly and Ace. Ladies, if you're ever in a situation where you're in a public relationship with a man and he decides to do some stupid shit and he finds himself in the middle of a public scandal, if you continue to attach yourself to that man, it's every time they see you with that man, it's gonna rub people the wrong way when it comes to you. It's not just him. It doesn't matter how much you cognitively distance yourself in your mind when it comes to the situation and whatever happened with him publicly in the scandal. People are still gonna look at you and how you stood by that man, and it's gonna rub the public the wrong way. So she's not trying to separate herself from Diddy at all, which is why I don't even know why she did this interview. What was the point of her doing this interview if she wasn't going to separate herself publicly from Diddy? I felt like the last interview that she did, she was kind of separating herself a little bit. Like we kind of had to put two and two together that she was most likely still dealing with him. But this interview, she just comes right out and she says it. Like, why do women do that? Because a man would never jeopardize his career and his money for a woman like this. This is stupid. There was a football player that literally called off his wedding, called off the engagement because this woman wouldn't sign, his girlfriend, baby mama, whatever, would not sign a prenup. So why are women jeopardizing their whole legacy, brand, career for a man that would never do the same for you at all? I just don't understand. So now she is saying she's evolved, saying that she's growing or she wants to, but now she's creating this conflicting narrative, and it's just gonna rub people the wrong way. Okay, so I really think the reason why Caresha is choosing to be cognitively biased, because that's what this is. She is trying to make it seem like, well, that wasn't my experience and that didn't happen to me. But we all watched the video. That wasn't my experience when it came to Diddy. That wasn't my experience when it came, like that wasn't a lot of our experiences. But we all saw that tape though. We all saw the tape. So I don't understand, like regardless of what you think is normal in the bedroom, what you think is considered to be normal in the bedroom. Okay, but what we saw on that video was not normal. It's not normal at all. And I'm not saying that Caresha should take accountability for what Diddy did. Like that's on him. But why are you supporting him in a way to where you're dismissive of what we all witnessed on the tape? Like her tone is very dismissive because she keeps using the excuse, well, that wasn't my experience. So it's really given like she's choosing to be cognitively biased because of her accumulative prior investment that she made with Diddy. That's all this comes down to. Is her prior investments is why she's still sticking by this man. And she thinks that when this man gets out, that she will reap the rewards of her prior investments. That's it.
A letter about you for Diddy's character. And a lot of people were upset. They were like, how could she do that after seeing the video with Cassie? A lot of people wanted to know why you decided to still write that letter.
I think I wrote a letter for a change man. I think that the man that I met and that I experienced was change. I'm not going to justify some bullshit or like support some good if I felt like that person was a change. And I felt like the person that I met was change. It was a different experience. So that's why I wrote the letter.
Do you think you owe like your fans an explanation? Or do you feel like your personal relationships are nobody's business but your own?
I feel like both. I feel like as people that's supporting you, that's buying into you and that love you, you have to give them some type of, they got to be able to connect with you. So I can't just be like, fuck y'all, this my person. Like, I don't.
But Caresha, you also have to understand that some of your fans went through a DV situation like Cassie. And this is why I be calling the girls birds, y'all, because I'm just like, this you got to be like a special kind of slow. You know what I mean? You really do got to be a special kind of slow, because I'm just like, girl, okay, you're just thinking of yourself. Like that's it. You're not considering the impact. You're not considering the cause and effect. You're not considering the pros and the cons of you choosing to publicly defend this man. There are women, a part of your fan base, that have been dragged and beaten very similar to Cassie, and you're choosing to basically come across with this dismissive tone that, that wasn't my experience, he's a changed man, yada yada yada. And it's just like, you could choose to stay out of it. Just completely stay out of it. But she keeps wanting to show publicly that she's holding it down for this man. She is wanting to send the Batman signal to Diddy while he's locked up, that I'm holding it down publicly for you, and that I'm still standing by your side. And it's making her look stupid as hell. Like, it's making her look dumb. I'm irritated, because I'm just like, girl, why? And then, you know how many women have done this? You know how many women have put their neck out here, put their careers on the line for Diddy, and it never paid off?
Oh yeah, it's half of me that do feel like they were at the end of the day being a real person. I feel like that door is open to them.
How do you reconcile supporting someone publicly when the court of public opinion is saying something completely different?
Because if I meet you today, or if my time that I experience with you is one way, I can only judge that person that way. So it's just like.
And again, it's given a special kind of slow, because it has been proven in court that he wasn't changed. There's video footage of him when it came to leading up to his arrest. There's all type of stuff. Like, he was exposed in the documentary on video. Like, I could understand if it wasn't on video, but this man was exposed on video in the documentary, because he chose not to pay a cameraman, and then 50 Cent ended up buying the footage off the cameraman, which was how he was able to get all of the behind the scenes footage leading up to his arrest. So Caresha, the changed man that you're fighting so hard for people to believe in, it's kind of hard for us to do that when we saw that footage. We saw his hotel room. We saw it. And that's the thing. It's like, girl, who are you trying to convince? Yourself? Because that's what it's giving. You're not convincing the public. We've seen too much.
I can't speak to nothing that I don't know of. I can only speak to the person that I met. And if I met this person that changed my life, that helped me grow, that treated me like a queen, that made me believe in myself, it's like, that's what I know. And I feel like people.
Does Caresha know that she is making Diddy out to be like this god in her life? Like, she has this man so centered in her life that I don't even think that she realizes. I'm like, so where is God in all of this? Okay, like, yeah, this man, he came in, he did this, da 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 da. And do you think that God is still providing for you at all? Or it's just Diddy that's providing for you? It's just Diddy that's going to invest in you. It's just Diddy that's going to get you to the next level. It's just Diddy that's going to help you elevate when it comes to your career, even though you've downgraded since all of this has happened when it comes to your career. Because you don't have your podcast, you don't have your music career with JT. You can't even go and at least put on a concert, because right now, during this hardship within the economy, if you notice, all your faves are on tour. That is for a reason. They're not on tour just because they on tour and they want to give their fans a show. They're on tour because the economy is taking a hit. And you don't think Caresha needs the money? Caresha needs the money too. So it's just, sis, to me, what Caresha is choosing to do, she is choosing the sunk cost fallacy. Okay, which it's a psychological term when a person is choosing to stay somewhere and they're not really benefiting from the situation. So I'm gonna give you some examples, right? So Caresha is the type of person where she's gonna finish a bad movie just because she paid for it. Another example of sunk cost fallacy is that she's going to stay in a failing relationship just because she's invested her time and her energy in that relationship. Even though it's failing, she's going to stay. She's going to invest more money into a broken car. Why? Because she's already put money in the car, and even though she knows that this car is basically not fixable, it's not drivable, is really not something she should invest in, she's still going to invest in it because she already invested in it. Another thing too, another example would be if you go out to eat and the food is terrible. She's the type of person where she's going to finish her terrible meal all because she's trying to get her money's worth. And it really gives like survival mode. Like it gives someone that is still in survival mode. Now listen, the crazy thing about this is she could have picked up this behavior from her mother, maybe her grandmother, or maybe she picked up this behavior because she was in a position of being in survival mode and she had to take care of herself. She had to take care of her siblings. And so now she has really picked up this pattern where she may not even be aware of it, where she feels the need to see things through even when it stops benefiting her or even when it doesn't benefit her at all. And it's because part of her identity is that she prides herself off of being loyal. Like that's a huge part of her identity, because another part of her identity is to be real. And what she doesn't understand is these things are a hindrance to her because she is choosing the fallacy and then she's choosing the loyalty, and in the process it's hurting her. Like in the process it's causing her to lose things, and she's not really benefiting in the way that she should. Because someone that's loyal really deserves the world. Like if you really are the type of person where you're always going to be there for that person, you deserve people that are going to be loyal to you in the same way. But first, you have to be in the position to choose how to be loyal to yourself. Because there is a time where, loyalty expires. Loyalty definitely expires. Because when was Diddy loyal to Caresha? Because when he was getting caught up with all of these different women and he was out here doing his thing, was he considering Caresha and the impact that it would have on her? Because a person that's loyal in that way and they're out here doing that underhanded shit, they would intentionally separate themselves away from you because they don't want to involve you in that. But Diddy wasn't even loyal to her. The many different women that he was dealing with behind her back, I don't even think Caresha even knew that this man had a baby on the way. Because even that was suspicious. So when was Diddy really loyal to her? I don't really see that. And I also think that she has that type of mentality that a woman is supposed to be loyal. Like she's feeding into the entitlement of most men in their mentality that you need to hold it down for me. And again, that comes from her environment. That comes from her watching her mother. That comes from certain choices and decisions that she probably has made in the past as well with her other children's father. So it's just crazy. So her identity is built on loyalty, and she will set her own house on fire just to prove she isn't a traitor. But again, I don't think that Caresha, and maybe it's me, but this is my opinion. She has guilt and she has fear of being associated with this man publicly because it causes financial stress. So regardless of what she's trying to portray in this interview or what she is trying to portray in her music with her lyrics and things like that, you cannot convince me that there isn't like a small ounce of guilt and fear that is associated with her when it comes to her publicly showing loyalty to Diddy. Because it's impacting her legacy, which ultimately impacts her children. You can't tell me that there's not any guilt there. There is some type of guilt there.
People can have opinions, but I can only judge a person off of what I know and what I experience. Like, I can't speak on nothing that I never was a part of, that I never knew. Like, I can only judge who I am. I can only judge who I was in a relationship with.
Were you afraid that they might call you to testify?
No. I never did nothing. I don't have nothing to hide.
You seem like a very loyal person.
I am.
At what point does loyalty become a liability?
Listen, I can't stand Charlamagne Tha God, but I was like, thank God you asked her that question. At what point does loyalty become a liability? When you have to self-abandon yourself to be loyal. Listen to me when I say this. And this can happen in friendship. This can happen in family. This can happen in a relationship with a romantic partner. Loyalty becomes a liability when you have to self-abandon yourself, your happiness, your peace, your children's legacy, their financial security, any emotional stability that you have within yourself. When you have to self-abandon yourself to be loyal to another person, that's when loyalty becomes a liability. And now you have to then, at that point, decide if you need to remove yourself and remove your loyalty. Because that's the thing. When someone is truly loyal to you, you are never put in the position to now in point see them as a liability because you're loyal to them. When someone's really loyal to you, they'll never put you in that position. Because the loyalty is an exchange. Meaning you benefit from it. You benefit from the loyalty that you give. And you also benefit from the loyalty that you receive. But see, that's the thing. The loyalty in this situation is one-sided. And the reason why it's one-sided is because it is a liability to her to be loyal to Diddy. What liability does Diddy have when it comes to being loyal to her? There is no liability. It's one-sided.
That's a good question, Charlamagne.
We got time. We can just sit there and tell you.
I mean,
Meaning, because you might be with somebody and at some point you realize just you even being loyal to this person to a fault. At some point you might have to cut them off because they might start bringing you down.
yeah, I mean, I understand that, but also I just feel like if a person,
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the sunk fallacy. That is what that is. When you're choosing to stay in a situation that you do not benefit from, that is what that is. Okay? You go to a buffet. The food is terrible. You stay and you eat the food anyway, even though it's terrible, but all because you want to get your money's worth. You choosing to stay in a failing relationship. It doesn't matter if it's a friendship. It doesn't matter if it's a romantic partner or even a job. You're choosing to stay somewhere that does not benefit you. That's you not recognizing your self-worth and your value.
let's just say for instance, right, I'm gonna just use this as a scenario. Imagine a person help you become a better version of yourself, or help you believe in yourself, or help you just experience new things, or just introduce you to new things that you was able to take and, you know, keep creating for your family, or it's still a positive thing.
Caresha, is this person still helping you create things for your family? Like, what is, girl? Because at first, yes, like you being loyal to someone at first like that, and they were helping you with this, of course. But when their help became a liability to your family, hello?
It's kind of hard to say, fuck you, you going through this shit, I don't give a fuck, like, I gotta just, fuck you. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very hard, because it's like, I don't want to kick somebody down, and I don't want to just say, fuck you, you going through that shit, you gotta figure it out, because...
No one is saying you gotta do all of that. No one is saying you gotta do all of that. Sometimes a quiet separation is enough. You don't got to make an announcement. You don't got to call them up on the phone. You really don't got to do nothing. You could just quietly separate. And for a man to be going through what Diddy is going through, I think he would be understanding of why. I don't even think he would be like, why you just leave me like that? Why you leave me like that? I think he would be a little more understanding of why. Like, because if I was in your situation, I probably would have did the same damn thing. Anyone with common sense would do the same damn thing.
Like, you my friend. Mm-hmm. I have a relationship with you. I have a personal relationship with you. Like, I know you. Like, it's like family. Like, we like locked in. So it's like that's a hard situation. And it's just like I cannot just turn my back on somebody like that easy. Like, that mean it was never no love there. Whatever I did for you, it meant nothing. It just, that would be a fake person to me.
What did this whole situation teach you about who's really in your corner? Because I feel like, I don't know, when I look at the album, I hear you in interviews sometimes.
Oh my God.
People turn their back on you the way you wouldn't have done if the roles were reversed.
So many people did, and that goes back to the liability question. Mm-hmm. Like, some people just don't do what makes sense. You get what I'm saying? And some people just don't ride out with you. Like, we gonna figure this out because things do turn around. You get what I'm saying? So I think
I'm really getting upset. She really thinks that things are going to turn around. Ladies, recognize when a man has so much spiritual baggage that you need to really run. Okay? Stefan is a prime example of that. Cardi was never going to be happy with Stefan. He has too much spiritual baggage lingering over him. Diddy is the same way. Too much spiritual baggage, meaning he needs a whole decade to rewrite his wrongs. You gonna stay down a whole decade to rewrite his wrongs? Help him rewrite his wrongs? Walk him through rewriting his wrongs? Because Caresha really thinks like this turnaround is gonna be quick. It's gonna be fast. Caresha needs to understand that she's at a very sensitive time in her career. She's getting older. The next hottest young artist, female rapper, is on the rise. Sis. Your audience of women are getting older. They're maturing. You don't really have that much time. And this is such a sensitive time in your career. This is not a risk really worth taking at all. Especially when you know it could potentially impact your kids majorly. So she really thinks that this is going to turn around. And that is very delusional. That is very...
I'm just focused on the people that stayed down. The people that left, they wasn't supposed to be here.
Did being tied to the Diddy situation impact your brand in any way?
It did.
Really?
It did. Bad.
Like, I'm not talking about just social media. I'm talking about in real life.
It did.
Like what?
It was a lot. Like, I lost deals, I lost money, I lost relationships, I lost a lot. And, you know, here I am.
Wow. After everything you've experienced, right? Like, there's so many things you've experienced on a personal level. And
this is another thing too. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Don't think that the City Girls are gonna get back together. Don't. If you think the City Girls are gonna get back together, you're just as delusional as Caresha. And the reason is because if JT links back up with Caresha, that now impacts her money, her opportunities, her brand deals, or any other deals that she has going on, business deals that she has going on. So basically what we saw, which is what I said 2 years ago, Caresha chose Diddy over JT. The girls always think they need a man, they need a man, they need a man. Baby, you could have made way more money with JT than with Diddy. If you would have put in the work and the focus long enough, you would have seen how that would have made you way more money than investing in this man. And that's what I'm trying to get the girls to understand, is that it seems like the end all be all goal is the man, but you may benefit elsewhere. You may benefit better with a friend, a female friend. So in this situation, she chose Diddy over JT, and it was a poor investment. And she could redeem herself and back out of this, but she's choosing not to. So now you're putting JT in a weird position where she has to choose between, should I choose Caresha or should I choose myself when it comes to my solo career? And if I was JT, I would choose herself. I would choose the solo career. I would not choose Caresha because Caresha is being stupid. Caresha is being dumb. So don't get mad at JT if she doesn't want to work with Caresha. Because ultimately, it comes down to the fact that Caresha chose Diddy over JT. And I told y'all that she did. I told y'all she did 2 years ago. I was like, what? And she really thought it was because she had something bigger with Diddy than she did with JT. And when you're dealing with a narcissist like that, they love to fill your head up with dreams that will never come true. If you've ever dealt with a real narcissist, they'll tell you, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that and I have big plans to do this and big plans to do that, but they really have no real foresight and they don't know what actions that they're going to take in order to really bring it to light. So Caresha is over here thinking that whatever conversation she had with Diddy are still going to come true because he has sold her on that dream, on that fantasy. And for whatever reason, Caresha is not looking at this with a clear mind at all.
Level, on a business level, how has your relationship with trust changed?
I don't trust nobody.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, trust is like the only person I probably trust is God and my kids. Mm-hmm. And I think
you see what I'm saying? Conflicting, her conflicting mindset, her conflicting values, her conflicting beliefs. So the man, y'all, am I crazy? I don't trust nobody, God and my kids. So the man that you're being loyal to, you don't trust him? The man that you're putting your legacy and your career on the line for, you don't trust him? This is,
that I don't know what trust is built on because you could be knowing a person your whole, like your kids to turn on. Mm-hmm. So I don't, when it comes to trust, I don't trust God. I got friends that I love and I trust to a certain extent, but it ain't never in the back of my mind like a person wouldn't do something to me.
Was there a particular situation that made you feel like that, or just
like just seeing everything unfold, how people would be with you and then when something get they just go. Mm. Like they ain't trying to stand by you, they ain't trying to support you, they just keep the fuck on.
Do you expect you from other people?
I do.
And that's very disappointing.
It is. Right? I expect me and every person that I meet, I be like, I won't do that, they won't do it. Mm-hmm. And when they do it, I just be like,
it's because, y'all, it is because Caresha prides herself off of being real, being loyal, and being down. It's a hood mentality that she really needs to grow out of. For real, for real. Like, she needs to grow out of it. Girl, you are young Miami, sis. Hello? And this is what be pissing me off. It's like, do you not know who you are? You are young Miami. Why do you still have that mentality? It's that street code hood mentality, and it's literally, it's sabotaging her at a very sensitive time in her life and in her career. And this is why I'm always telling you, ladies, please, if you don't take anything away from my platform, do the shadow work, please, because the shadow work is intended to prepare you for your biggest moment, your biggest day, your day of success and recognition, your season for success and recognition. You need to do your shadow work so that you will know how to handle that. Caresha doesn't even know how to handle the situation that she's in because she hasn't done any work on herself at all. She only cares about the aesthetic. She only cares about the perception. She only cares about the image. That's it. She hasn't done any real inner work. The whole reason I'm always telling you, do your shadow work, do your shadow work, do your shadow work, is because I believe that if you came to this platform, that one day you will have your moment. I don't know if it's a healthy relationship. I don't know if it's the career of your dreams. I don't know if it's a business that you want to create or build. I don't know if it's you going and moving across the country or moving across states. But the whole reason for shadow work is to help you when it comes to moments like this, or when it comes to moments like when you're in your career, you're in your success. You may even be experiencing a little bit of fame. But I see so many women that get at the highest level within their careers and they sabotage it because they didn't do any inner work. And then they can't even blame outside influences or outside people because they're the ones burning down their own house. No one is burning down Caresha's house but her. And then she's choosing to stand in the burning house. She's not even leaving it. She's like, okay, well, I'm just going to burn it all down to the ground and did it. And it's like she's destroying everything that she worked so hard for. And that's the thing, is sometimes we destroy the very things that we ourselves work so hard for, but we tend to do it unknowingly because we're not aware of ourselves. We're not aware that we're doing these shadow things that's impacting us negatively. And that's what Caresha doesn't understand. Like this whole loyalty, this whole I'm real and I'm down and I'm a ride or die. She doesn't understand it's destroying the very thing that she worked so hard for. I remember when JT went to jail and she was doing her time and Caresha was out here. She was working her ass off. She was networking. She was keeping the group alive. She was doing everything that she could plus some to ensure that she was creating a career and a legacy. And now she's destroying it all over a man that she can't even trust because she is a prisoner to loyalty and being seen as real.
What we do?
Now, you know I love the city girls.
I hate to see it.
So I hate to see you and JT not together anymore. Well, what's the status of your relationship now?
I think that when it comes to me and JT, I feel like it was a marriage, right? You meet somebody, y'all fall in love, shit happen, y'all break up, y'all get a divorce. It could be ugly or it could be good. It could be one that y'all just get a divorce and y'all move on, or it could be one that we fight in front of the public. And I think that it was one of those situations where, like, you know, we childhood friends. That love is always going to be there. That's why even when the whole thing on the internet happened, I'm like, JT, like, what we doing here? We can never go, this never gonna go nowhere. Cause it's like we both ain't gonna go that far. Like, we family. So
You said y'all got the period at the same time.
yeah, like you as a woman, as a girlfriend group, if you be around somebody every day, y'all get your period at the same time, around the same month.
Yes, when Caresha was out here and JT was locked up, she was pregnant. She was working her ass off. She was working her ass off. And I want you to also notice another thing too, right? It has been known now, you know, there's this whole saying that men are incapable of love, right? And I don't think that men are incapable of love. I feel like men are incapable of loving women in the way that we naturally desire without telling them, okay? They don't know how to love us in the way that we fantasize, we desire, and at times we yearn for, right? But one thing that I noticed with Cardi B, right? She ended that relationship with Stefan, and she didn't think that she was gonna get the love replaced, and it immediately got replaced by her fans. Like the love that she was wanting from Stefan, the love that she was waiting for Stefan to give her, and he refused to give it to her. She was able to get that from her fans, from the people that really genuinely love and support her. Regardless of if you like Cardi or not, she was able to get that love from her fans. And Caresha has the ability to get that love from her fans as well. But she is choosing to be in this connection. I don't even know what it is, if it's a friendship or whatever. But she is choosing to be connected to a man that really can't love her. Not love her in the way that she needs. Because if she did, she would be like, well, I can trust Diddy. I've always been able to trust him. But she can't even say that. She cannot even say that. So I don't know what Caresha's end game is, but she needs to really take a page out of Cardi B's book, and she needs to really move on with her life. Because could you imagine Stefan, the headlines, him being cut from his team, him in that case with strangling that woman while she's on tour and she just released her hair care line? Could you imagine all of that going on at the same time? Could you imagine? So now, luckily for Cardi, she completely separated herself, right? So when all of those headlines came out, nobody was mentioning Cardi B at all. Nobody mentioned her when it came to that situation, other than the fact that she left that man alone. Caresha needs to do the same thing. She needs to take a page out of Cardi B's book. Seriously. Because she has not completely separated herself. So any headlines that do come from Diddy, good, bad, or indifferent, it's gonna affect her. It's gonna impact her. People are gonna attach her name to it, whether she likes that or not.
So it was at one point we'd be on tour like, bitch, you got a tampon? You got a tampon? Like, we real friends. We grew up together. That's gonna always be a person that I got love for.
When something like the City Girls ends, it's not just business though. Like, that's a piece of your identity. So what did you have to, I guess, what did you grieve in letting that go?
And then this is another thing too that I want to highlight too. I think JT is more hurt by Caresha than Caresha is hurt by JT. Because if there was a different interview with JT and she was to do an interview, I think the conversation would go a lot different. And I don't know, has JT done an interview already? Let me know. Let me know. They definitely bonded over their trauma. They were in survival mode. You know, they were trying to get money together, and I get that and I understand that. But I don't think Caresha understands that she hurt JT. I don't even think fans want to recognize that she actually hurt her. Because she really left her in the dust, y'all. She left her in the dust and she ran off with that man. It's almost like when your friend dates a new guy and then y'all hanging out every day, doing everything together, kicking it every day, talking on the phone, texting all the time, FaceTime, and then she get a man and she just completely goes ghost. You stop hearing from her. She's not texting back like she used to. She's not calling back like she used to. Y'all not hanging out like y'all used to. That kind of is the vibe here. So I think JT is more hurt by this situation than Caresha. So, of course, Caresha wants them to come back together. But I don't think that JT feels the same way. But that's just strictly my opinion.
Version of yourself, go.
It was just like losing like a friend, like a sister.
Did it feel like a death?
It hurts. I won't say death because that person is never coming back. She's still here. So it's always room for us to have a conversation. So I ain't gonna say death, but it hurts. It's like getting your heart broke for the first time.
What made you two actually grow apart? Like, everybody thought it was Caresha, she got the podcast, now she's doing the reality show, she getting her Beyonce on.
Yeah.
People thought, well, JT takes music more seriously than Caresha does. What was it?
No, I think it was just more of, she felt like, you know, JT into like fashion and so many different other things. She got her own lane and I think just like, we are in just two different lanes. Like, our brands is just two different brands, and it's like two different people trying to be one. It's just never gonna work. And I think it was more of like, she just had a lane that she wanted to go in, and it just wasn't the same type of time I was on. So it was just more of like, I'm kind of ready to do my own thing. Like,
and I really think Diddy really planted that seed in her mind. Because one thing Diddy gonna do is break up a group. One thing Diddy gonna do is break up a group. So I think he was feeding her mind with things, ideas, and plans that just did not include JT. And I think JT felt that. And that's what I'm saying. People are saying that JT's not hurt because she's a Sag. Listen, zodiac signs are cute, but it doesn't come without an emotion. Humans have emotions. So she could have been hurt egotistically, or she could have been hurt, like really hurt, because that was somebody that she considered a really close friend / sister. It's okay. It doesn't make her weak. It just makes her human, and she experienced that. But I really think that Diddy got into her head, got her head all bigger than the program when it came to JT. And so she decided to start her own thing. So she started investing in Diddy more than she invested in JT.
You know, I don't really want to do this shit no more. I'm getting older, because she's older than me. So it was more of like, I'm just ready to go.
I've heard you say JT hasn't been the same since the Fed case. What case you talking about?
When she went to prison.
Got you. You think jail changed her? Or?
Yeah, I think jail shaped people. I think when you go to jail, if you sober in there, not saying that she was yours, I'm just saying, like, people, when you go in there, that's like time out.
Has JT said anything? Y'all know I don't be following the blogs. Has she said anything? Has she posted anything?
Like, you have no time, you have nothing to do but to sit and think and reflect, and it can, like, it could fuck you up or it can help you grow, but it mentally do something to you because
Nope.
it's like you got time away from everybody. You just sit and reflect. And I think that before JT went in, me and her was like this. Like we was so like this, and when she came home, I just felt a shift, but it wasn't bad. Like I didn't take heat to it because my mom been in prison, so I know what it's like to be in jail and come home. They see the world different.
I think that she is still loyal to JT because she talks about how she wants her and JT to go to therapy. So I think she's still loyal to JT, but I think the whole situation just rubbed JT the wrong way. And that's one thing about Sagittarius is once you rub them the wrong way, it's for life. They take that shit very serious. So I don't think there's going to be any coming around. And then JT is she's stubborn too. Like, girl, once you piss her off, it's like you piss her off. So I don't know. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. But I think that there is still some type of loyalty. I feel like she's kind of showing it here in this interview because she's not really dragging JT. She's not really exposing their tea or their business. So there still is some type of loyalty there. But it's obviously clear that her loyalty, she has it more with Diddy. She gives more of her loyalty to Diddy.
Because they just went in time out. So I feel like that was my experience.
Did you ever feel, I don't know if I call it jealousy, but she had a man and she spent more time with her man now, and you probably was used to y'all being together all the time. Was there anything like that?
Not when it comes to a man, because as women, we all want to be with our men. Like I'm an Aquarius, so I'm very big on space, and I like to be alone a lot. So I think it was me. Like
And again, let me rephrase that. When I said that Caresha chose Diddy, it was the seeds that Diddy was planting in her mind. We all know, if you've been around since the 90s, the early 2000s, we all know that Diddy is famous for breaking up groups. That is what he's famous for. That is what he's known for. Okay? He wanted Caresha and Diddy, he wanted the two of them to be a duo. He can't be a duo with Caresha if Caresha is a duo with JT. So he wanted them to be a duo. He wanted to replace JT altogether. So it was the seeds that Diddy was planting in her mind. JT hanging out with her man is normal. I hope you're hanging out with a man or a man that you're into or that you like. That wasn't really the issue. It was the seeds that were being planted. It was the seeds in the mind. And I don't think, y'all let me know, because I don't know a little Uzi like that. But do you think that he was sitting up there trying to make it seem like that JT just didn't need Caresha anymore? Y'all let me know. But I know that Diddy has a track record of that.
I disconnect a lot of times, and it can come off as in like I'm disconnected, but sometimes
Yeah,
I gotta just
like
go
he's a
and
snake.
just be by myself.
Have y'all talked about any of this?
I think we need a therapist. We need somebody to come and hear both sides. Because when we try to like express ourselves, it's like, but you did this to me, but you did this to me. We just point the finger at each other. It's like, you made me feel this way, well, you made me feel this way. I ain't do nothing to you, and you ain't. It's like we're not getting nowhere. So we gotta literally have someone come in and say, look, she feel like this and you feel like this, and like, what's the solution?
You clearly love JT. Like that's what I'm saying. So why not go get a counselor or a therapist and y'all just go have a couple
That's
of
what I'm
sessions with each
saying.
other and put everything on the table and see if y'all can resolve.
And this is where I see where JT is coming from. She said, I think if Diddy was outside, she wouldn't want to reunite with JT. I don't think so either. That's what I'm saying. And I think JT is tired of that. I think JT is like really, really sick of that. Seriously. And I feel like women can relate to JT's position if you've ever had a friend that has done you like that.
The relationship.
Because I think we both need time to do our own thing. I think that when JT was doing her thing, I never wanted to make it about me. Like, I didn't want to, oh, you see I'm doing my thing, now you're trying to come back now you're trying to make things, and I don't want it to feel like that when I'm doing my thing. So I think she did her thing, I'm doing my thing now. Let us both grow, as individuals, and I think the time will come.
Because Caresha would be a hypocrite now if she felt some type of way that JT is doing her own thing, because she did it first, y'all. She did it first.
And I also think,
like, she was out here making moves and she wasn't really considering JT at that time. And that's what I'm saying. She was only listening to her God, Diddy, her mentor, the man that changed her life, the man that changed her lifestyle. She was only listening to him for real. That's it. And this is another thing. Be so freaking for real. Because I'm the type of woman where I could listen to a woman and she just started dating this new guy, and just the way she talks, I could tell that man is already in her head. So come on, we already know when a woman's mind has been compromised by a new man that she just started seeing. Come on now. Come on. We all know Jasmine Brown. That woman is even dressing like that man. Tacky. Jasmine, to me, she dressed pretty well before Kim, but now she dressed tacky as hell. I'm like, you dress just like that man, and you sound just like him too.
I think we both gotta be ready. It can't just be like when I feel like I'm ready or when she feel like she ready. Like we both gotta be in the space where we can sit down as adults and say, okay, we in a better space now. And I think we need that time apart.
So the City Girls aren't done. It's just like a season of separation, kind of.
Yeah, I would never just off the City Girls. We built this together. Mm-hmm. You know, like we did a lot together. To just say that it never happened or just act like it's just dead. You know, like it's for everyone in the City Girls. Like we both come from the fucking hood. Mm-hmm. We that's an accomplishment for both of us. So I look at it like that.
You know, people on the internet were saying that it was a lover's quarrel, like y'all be scissoring or something like that.
No. I ain't never seen or heard that. Yeah, I know you did.
That's crazy.
That's what they do on the internet. Though. People make up shit and then start believing it.
If the City Girls never make music again, what would you want that legacy to be? Just the City Girls, you and JT.
I don't want it to be two young girls that grew up together. They came and they made history, and it was sisterhood. It was built off of sisterhood. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've had to process a lot of loss publicly and
let this be a lesson to women everywhere. What broke up this sisterhood? What broke up the sisterhood? A man. A man is always breaking up the sisterhood. I just hope I hope she comes out of this choosing to be tethered to a situation that is objectively harming her. It's harming her brand, her public image. It's harming her finances. It's even somewhat harming her children in a way, too. Okay, because it's taking food off their table. It's taking money out of her account that ultimately can affect her resources when it comes to her children. So she needs to think about that. It also seems like she is choosing like this hood code or this street code over her own peace. And I hope she changes that. She is choosing the street code. She's choosing the hood rules over her own peace.
Privately, like you got relationships changing, people you love no longer here. How do you even begin to separate your personal grief from what the world is consuming as entertainment?
And that's the part I feel like they don't understand. Like for them, it's just like they don't give me that grace. And I think it's hard going through everything publicly with the world just being a weird and ignorant place. And I think that I already got a chance to actually sit and go through my grievances because it's like I always had to work or I always had to defend myself or it's just in front of the world. So I just work through bullshit. Like I haven't really had the time to really sit and digest everything that's happened to me.
But you know they say staying busy is a response to trauma. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to run from what you probably actually should be sitting down and dealing with.
So why do you deal with it?
You said what?
Why do I need to deal with it?
I mean,
the reason why Caresha isn't branching off and doing her own thing and really branching off into this solo creative identity, because we can see the potential. I can see the potential. But the reason why she hasn't like created a YouTube channel, like you've seen, what's that big-headed man's name? Safari. How he had created a YouTube channel and he had his own editor. Caresha didn't want to do reality TV because she said that it's scripted and she said that it's this and she said, girl, pick up a vlog camera. Hire somebody to record. Create your own reality TV on YouTube. But she's still trying to follow Diddy's formula. Like that's part of the issue. She's still trying to follow his traditional system that is clearly outdated because he came up in a different era and time. So that's part of the problem. It's like this man is so far in her head. She really is limiting herself in so many different ways. She's not really allowing herself to branch out and expand for real because she's wanting to follow his system.
Because I always feel like if you don't deal with your trauma ultimately deal with you. Like
yeah, he's still for sure.
Remember when Will Smith was at the Oscars? Mm-hmm. That's the biggest night of his life, right? He about to get crowned. He about to get Best Actor, and like everything just came out at once.
He lashed out,
and he lashed out in that moment. Mm-hmm. That's why I say deal with your trauma ultimately deal with you. You can't run from it forever, Caresha.
I gotta deal with that when God possibly showed me.
Baby, God ain't showed you already. See, it's because you know the reason why I feel like she feels like God hasn't showed her is because she has made Diddy her God, so she can't see. Charlamagne tried. He tried. Charlamagne did try in this interview to get her together, but he can't force it on her. You know what I mean?
Best actor, and like everything just came out at once.
He lashed out,
and he lashed out in that moment. That's why I say, deal with your trauma ultimately deal with you. You can't run from it forever, Caresha.
I gotta deal with that when God possibly showed me. I don't want to deal with it right now. I got too much to focus on. I think that it just puts you in a depression that it's hard to pull yourself out of, and it's just like I don't want to deal with that right now.
And you know what's so crazy, y'all? You know what's so crazy is if she really went on a healing journey, it would probably open up a creative vault when it comes to her music, when it comes to her brand. It would open up a whole vault. She could probably come up with I don't know how many songs if she actually went back and healed from her trauma. But the fact that she doesn't want to go back and she doesn't want to work through that painful time or those painful times or those painful moments or those painful memories, she is literally blocking herself when it comes to her creativity. There's a lot of writing that can come from revisiting those earlier traumatic experiences. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but it gives you something to write about. Like pain. Listen, Keisha Cole, I mean, I don't know how many heartbreak Keisha Cole songs got out there, but I mean, a lot of her music is as good as it is because she was really singing from a place of pain, relatability. And Caresha is literally blocking herself off from that creative force that she could put behind her music, behind any of her future endeavors that she wants to embark on. But if she's just completely blocking that out, she's just going to stay in this survival mode. So Caresha spent years tying her brand to Diddy, the mogul, right? And she prides herself off of being educated by him. But the issue with Caresha is that she also has attached her emotions, which is blinding her when it comes to what truly benefits her right now in this moment. And in my opinion, she would need to walk away, but that would mean that she would have to admit that the years that she was investing in this relationship, in the brand and the music that they were creating together and things like that, it truly was a waste. And I think part of her doesn't want to admit that because of her ego. Like she doesn't want to feel like she got fooled. She doesn't want to feel like she got played. So she's holding on to this idea. She's holding on to what she thought it was going to be. And she refuses to see what it's not. And she refuses to see where the relationship currently is. So she's doubling down and she's waiting for this redemption moment to happen instead of facing the massive loss of the investment that she made in Diddy. So again, like she is making this calculated hope of waiting to see her investment still pay off even after the fact, even with her having all of these signs. Hey, you should really let this go. You should really distance herself. She is holding on for dear life because she is waiting for her investment to truly pay off.
Like right now, I got kids to raise, and I got things that I need to do. I don't want to be dealing with trauma.
Speaking of your kids, like that's the last question I'll talk about with grief. But you did lose the father of your child, and that's a different kind of grief. Because it's not just yours, it's your child's as well.
And another thing too that with her saying that Caresha is processing her current experience, her past experience, and the things that she has gone through in a way that protects her identity. And when it comes to your self-identity, I'm gonna bring it up. Let me bring it up. When it comes to your self-identity, let me bring it up. Do I have it? Right here. When it comes to your self-identity, she is protecting her persona. Okay, she's also protecting her ego. She's protecting her shadow as well because she doesn't want to admit that she fucked up. She invested in the wrong person. She does not want to admit that. Her ego won't allow her to admit that because she still wants to project this persona. right? So the persona that she's moving into is more about coming across more polished and thinking about what she's putting out here. And I don't even think that it's because she really truly wants to be like that. I think she feels like she has to be like that now because every little thing could be taken out of context. But she's still a contradiction, because why would you come out with a song referencing Diddy at all? Like, why would you even attach yourself? And then why would you be dumb enough, stupid enough to reference something sexual? I mean, be so for real. Like, why would you do that? Why would you even reference something sexual at all? Like, that was really dumb. So she is protecting her identity at its core, and go ahead and fit in the self circle, her loyalty, her realness, her rawness. That is what she's protecting. And she's doing it from a place of self-sabotage, because her shadow is sabotaging her. And she doesn't want to admit that she invested wrong. She invested poorly. Like, that's just the common denominator here. She just invested wrong. So she is going to continue to reject any logic, because she doesn't want to do the work of breaking all of this down. She doesn't want to do the work of seeing how she comes across to people when it comes to her persona. Like choosing to be loyal to a man that we all witnessed drag a woman by her hair down a hallway. Like, she doesn't want to confront how that looks, because her ego won't allow her to. And then her shadow is destroying the little bit of self-esteem, self-worth, self-identity that she truly has left. And it's causing her inner world to be stressed. It's causing her inner world to be at war, really. Like, she doesn't have peace. She is choosing the street code. She's choosing the hood rules over her own inner peace. So her inner world is stressed. You want me to believe that a woman that is losing brand deals, that's missing out on opportunities, her inner world is at peace? I call bullshit. Her inner world is not at peace, because her outer world, based off of what she has projected to it, is now mirroring back consequences based off of her choices. And she doesn't even understand that it's truly rooted in the fact that she prides her self-identity off of loyalty, which is coming from a place of survival from her past, and probably things that she's witnessed from her mother. So, and we all saw where that landed her mother. So it's a mess. It's very backwards.
How has that changed the way you show up as a woman and as a mother?
I mean, it's so hard as a woman losing like a male figure, because it's like I always check on my son. Are you okay? You know, mentally, how are you? And I feel like he always like, I'm okay. But I feel like even if he's not, he wouldn't put it on me. Because I think, you know, he's a young man that's growing up. He probably don't even want to put that on me. So, like, for me, it's hard. Because I be like, damn, I'm raising my son. He's 12 now. He about to be a teen. So I know he about to get into teenager thing. Mm-hmm. Who's that? Like, him and his dad was like this. So who's that male figure in his life that's going to replace his dad? It's not nobody. And it's me. So I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself. And I try to apply myself as much as I can, and really, you know, try to make sure that he knows, like, hey, I'm here for you. You can come to me about anything. I don't know what it is. We gonna figure it out together.
Does he talk to you about everything?
No.
Really?
He's shy. He's very shy. Like, he's really, really, really shy. He got my little sister, which is his aunt. I feel good about that, because that's my sister that he talks to.
Do you tell him that he has to have $100 million? The girl's not gonna want to date him?
No. I don't even instill that type of stuff in him.
Okay.
At all. Like, I literally hate when you get on the internet and see me say stuff.
Caresha. So, and see, this is what I'm saying. When you really truly are at war with yourself, you don't make sense and you're not consistent. Your values are all over the place. Your belief is all over the place. And you show up one way here, and then you show up a different way here. And I'm not saying in a way that it like you show up differently in ways that's just not beneficial to you, because I do believe in being situational, right? I do believe in code switching and all of that, but she shows up differently in ways that's just a contradiction. So you out here talking about this about what men should do, but then you tell your son something different, or you don't even bring it up. This.
You have to have $100 million. The girl's not gonna want to date him.
No. I don't even instill that type of stuff in him.
Okay.
At all. Like, I literally hate when he get on the internet and see me say stuff like that. I'm like, I need to stop.
Oh, man. People don't think about that. They don't think about when you got kids old enough to be online and see what people are saying about their mama, what their mom is saying about other people.
Yes.
You ever had to explain that to them?
My son is so smart. He's smart. And he loves, that's something I love about my son. He's into school. Like, if I go out, he's like, Mommy, you know I gotta go to school tomorrow. Like, how am I getting to school tomorrow? He be on me, like, school tomorrow, I got a test. He loves school. So he know that. Like, that's not something I had to explain to him. He know that.
Do you talk to him about your music?
I did play my album for him. Cause they said
So you heard Caresha Tales?
I skipped that song. I ain't gonna lie, I skipped that song. But I did play it for him because as a kid, I just want to know what he think. And he really told me he liked the Newsflash. He loved Take Me to Chanel. He liked Still Eat. He was like, I like it. He said, I love it. They made him feel good.
So does him and JT still talk to him?
Yeah. I go through it, so like I randomly get his phone, let me see your phone, and they be, I love you, like they got their own relationship. I actually love that. I like love that.
And I'm sure that makes you feel good too, because that lets you know, like, okay, there's still a bond here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He loved her, she loved him.
Why don't you do? We were talking about this before the interview started. Why don't you do more records like F Them Kids and What's Up and Dade County? Because to me, that's your lane. Because I love that old Miami bass sound. I was born in 1978, so I grew up on it. That's my era. The Uncle Luke, all like, why don't you do more of that? Like that sound need to come back.
I am. I think that I just had to get back in my groove, you know, and I had to get back in my sound. I think as artists, the fans will steer you away from what's your sound, because then it.
And that's another thing too. Is the reason why she got out of her sound was because of who? And this is who she's choosing to be loyal to. This is who she's choosing to create this liability in her life is a man that took you out of your own sound, that was making you a lot of money. Because Diddy is known for that too. Diddy is known for changing things up because he feels like he can make you a better star. So another thing too, when it comes to Diddy, there's a trauma bond here when it comes to their relationship and a hero complex. So when it comes to like the trauma bond and the hero complex of their relationship, it's a concept of when a person provides both an intense positive reinforcement, making, like, he always says things like, I'm gonna make her a star, I'm gonna make her a star. You know, he's known for saying that. But then also the hero complex comes in too, because she also prides him off of teaching her the game. And what she doesn't understand is like all of this came with intense stress and chaos. So that's what creates like the trauma bond, right? It creates that chemical bond in the brain that's very similar to an addiction. So she has this trauma bond with Diddy. She also has like this hero complex with Diddy as well. So this is why I said she kind of views him as a god who like initiated her into this high life of a lifestyle. So she isn't just protecting him like a boyfriend or a friend. She's also protecting the person she credits for her survival and her success. So she is protecting her hero. She is protecting the man that she has this addiction to that she probably can't even really explain. And it's because she's in like this trauma bond relationship with Diddy. And so much so because we all know that sometimes when you're in a trauma bond relationship, you have a fear of being alone. You have a fear of being like a solo act. So the reason why it's taking Caresha a while to like really get back in the flow, get back to her sound and things like that was because she was in this trauma bond. She was in this trauma bond with Diddy, and Diddy had her just disconnected from self, because in order to be with Diddy, you have to be disconnected from self. You have to self-abandon so that he can have complete control. And that's part of the trauma bond. So if you view someone as a hero, you're going to let your defenses down, right? Like you're not going to really try to get any type of agency or autonomy over self, because you look at this person as a hero. So you have like this type of trust, this blind loyalty, and you just give them full range. So she views him as like her hero when it comes to her success. I also want to add too, that I personally think that she may fear that without Diddy and his system and his traditional backing, she won't know how to navigate the elite levels of the industry. So she's basically choosing the devil she knows over the independence that she fears. And that's another thing that I noticed with Caresha. It's like I don't even think it's just that she wants to be loyal to Diddy. I think she's afraid to truly be independent and away from him. She's afraid that she'll lose his backing if she goes off and she just does her own thing. So it's really screwed a little bit. Also, Caresha values a social capital, which is like being seen as like real and loyal, over actual capital, which is like deals that she's losing. So her capital is loyalty, her capital is realness, but she's losing capital when it comes to her finances. Make it make sense. She's convinced that if she stays, she saves her career and her legacy. But that's not what we're seeing from the outside looking in, okay? She doesn't realize that by staying, she is drowning, she's drowning the very legacy that she worked so hard to build for her kids and for herself and for her family and for her fans and for anyone that she was doing it for, okay? Including herself.
And they gonna tell you, like, if I put out fucking kids, someone say you ain't growing, you still talk about fucking kids, you da-da-da-da. So it put artists in a place where you get in your head and you feel like you need to make better records, and then you start making shit that don't even resonate with you.
Honestly, I would rather hear F them kids than Caresha Tales.
Even you, and now you just sound like you trying to shit.
And listen, I think Caresha Tales is the song where she references Diddy and their little sexual relationship.
So I think that was the phase I went through too. And now I'm back in my bag, I'm back in my box, and I know that those songs feel good to me. Like, those records that I love, and I feel like that's my best self. So I ain't gonna make more records like that.
So all these records, you like when you hear records like Take Me to Chanel and Caresha Tales, is that really where you at right now?
Hold on, let me see. Did I miss something?
You see what I got on right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy. I want to ask you something about grief again. Do you feel like grief has hardened you, or softened you, or made you more intentional about who and what you pour into?
I think all of the above. Grief is I think grief comes in like different stages. Mm-hmm. And I think that when it comes to grief, I think it made me stronger. Because I always be feeling like I gotta be so strong. Like, whenever I'm crying, like, I don't feel bad, but I be like, come on, like, let's get out of this. Like, you gotta keep growing. So I feel like grief made me stronger. Mm. It made me feel like I gotta keep going. Like, I can't live in this.
I feel like because you had to.
I tried to tell the ladies this, I think about 2 years ago. You can never make me jealous of someone that's still in survival mode, because the whole purpose and benefit of life is not just having money, not just being able to have a certain lifestyle, not just being able to buy certain things. It's to live, it's to thrive, and to be at peace and to be happy. It's not just to have money, just to have bags, just to have this, just to have that, and then you still have to work like a slave. You still have to survive your life every day. That to me is just not a life that I'm fond of, or a life that I truly want for myself. So no one could ever make me jealous of what another person has, especially when I see them in survival mode. One thing that I'm seeing with Caresha is that she wants to evolve, but she doesn't want to let go of things that no longer serve her. So she refuses to revisit the trauma, but she really needs to revisit the trauma so she can actually heal, release, and let it go so she can move forward with her life. I think that her not really going back through her trauma, she's not able to connect the dots when it comes to her worth. Because a lot of times your trauma can really show you what your worth is, what your value is. It can show you how resilient you are. It can show you that how strong you are. It can show you how loving you are. It can show you how kind you are. It can show you that you really didn't deserve a lot of the things that happened to you. But if you don't go back and revisit your trauma, how will you really know your worth like that? Because the only way you can know your worth is just from a surface level perspective, just based off of the compliments that you get, the smiles that you get when you get hit on by men, and that's pretty much it. But you will know your worth when you go back and you visit your trauma. You have to visit your trauma so you can know your worth. Because first of all, you turned out to be this, but you went through this. That's worth something. You're worth something. You're valuable. But how can you identify with that if you don't go back and revisit? You have to go back and revisit. And I'm not here to downplay that it's a very painful experience. And at times it's very uncomfortable. It's very emotional. It's even stressful. It could piss you off and make you mad all over again. And those emotions are valid. The concern, the fear of going back and revisiting, all of that is very normal. That's just your shadow being protective. Okay, that's all that it is. It's being protective of your self-esteem, because those things really hurt you. You know, it causes scars, wounds, but you still have to go back so you can know your worth. Like, that's what that really is about. Go back, revisit your trauma so you can really figure out who you are, your worth, and what you're truly deserving of. And yes, sometimes when it comes to pain and traumatic experiences, it had an impact on our worth. It had an impact on our value. Like, sometimes the most negative experiences have shaped us in ways that just made us into a person that a lot of us can be proud of, you know. And sometimes it started off from a fucked up experience. That's just me being real. Okay, because some of those experiences developed characteristics in yourself that are actually very valuable and useful, not only to yourself but to others. So you got to go back. I'm sorry, you have to go back. And then when you heal and you get to that point of forgiveness, all forgiveness is releasing and letting go, spiritually, mentally, and energetically letting go. Not saying you have to forget, not saying you have to let people back in that hurt you. It's just when you forgive, it's like a spiritual experience. It's a mental experience. It's an energetic experience where you're really choosing to let something go so that you can move forward in new energy, so you can move forward in lighter energy, so you can move forward in this renewed space in your life. That's what that is about. Forgiveness is not to allow somebody back in. Forgiveness really isn't for to let people that did you wrong, give them a second chance. It's really an experience that you need to have with yourself so that you can release, let go, and move forward in your life. So you don't carry any bitterness, trauma, triggers, anything that really could sabotage you in your new season in your life. That is what that is for. Okay. So what I really want to see from Caresha is for her to focus on her solo creative identity. I don't think that she knows what that is, but I think she will find it if she were to go back and revisit her trauma. And this could really help her expand when it comes to her own business ventures that she has, where she could really break free away from Diddy, and she doesn't have to rely on his redemption arc. She doesn't have to rely on his backing or his traditional system in which he taught or mentored her when it came to a high life. Okay. Caresha needs to focus on being her own provider. This is a woman that can multiply and expand very well on her own. And I really wish women would recognize that within themselves. You know, women dominate content creating. We dominate creativity. And so when you have that ability, when you can touch just anything, because maybe you just have a likable personality, you can sell anything, you can create anything, you can come up with anything, you can basically invent anything. You are the type of woman where you can provide a very good life for yourself. I'm not saying that you can't have the desire to have a man come in and provide something. Honestly, a man should be providing something, especially if you're sleeping with him. But I'm saying you got to be able to recognize your worth enough and your value enough where you can see that you can build very well for yourself solo. So then you don't have to be desperate and just let any man in and just have any man around. You got to be able to recognize when you can build your own and build it well. Okay? Because oftentimes, what do? We look for a man to help us build, or to build for us, or to build something for us, or to give us the resources. But women are the most resourceful individuals I've ever met in my life. There is a reason why men hire women when it comes to their business. Why don't they hire men? Think about that. And that's the thing. It's like men see your worth and use it for their advantage, but you don't see it yourself. Men see your value and they use it for themselves, but you don't see it within yourself. Men will tell you, I hire a team of women. Ask yourself why. And ask yourself, why don't you see that within yourself? Because I'm building a team of women too. I wouldn't want that many men on my team unless it really has to do with something like physical, or maybe tech wise. But I feel like I could find all of that in a woman, and I feel like a woman is going to give me a better experience, because then I don't have to deal with being like sexually intimidated, or I have to be attractive enough for him and things like. I could just use a woman. We can collaborate, and it could be a way better experience. So think about that. Men will flat out tell you, I hire a team of women before I hire a team of men. And you need to ask yourself why. And why don't women see that value and that worth within themselves? Also, Caresha needs to focus on being her own provider and the leader she says that she wants in a partner. She doesn't need to find $100 million man. She needs to realize that she is the $100 million woman. Okay? She is the $100 million brand. And you know who saw that in her? Diddy. But she needs to see that within herself. She needs to see that in herself. She needs to truly believe that in herself.
Like, raised, I guess, your brothers and sisters when your mom was in prison, and just, growing up in the environment you grew up in. Like, I almost feel like, you didn't maybe get the childhood.
And that's another thing too, is we can see the mind control, but she's trying to convince us that this man has changed. We saw the mind control that he had over all of the women and even some of the men that were involved. But she wants to convince us that this man has changed. It's just not convincing at all. It's not. It's like in this interview, it's not giving authentic Caresha Young Miami. It's giving Diddy still has some influence on her, and she's not really able to break out and really do her own thing because she is waiting. She is being hopeful and calculated when it comes to some type of change or redemption with Diddy still backing her publicly. That's what that is.
You want it?
Yeah, no, I was grown. I was had to be a woman. I was cooking, going to the grocery store down there, Section 8, filling out applications. So I appreciate it because I know how to do a lot. Like, I know how to do applications. I know how to fill out stuff for credit. I know how to apply for things. So it's like a blessing and a curse because I do wish I did have a childhood, like, at one point. But I did have to be an adult fast. Like, I had to raise kids. Like, I had to get them ready for school, iron uniforms. At one point, I started boosting because I had to. My mama wasn't there, like, these are kids, how they gonna get uniforms? I don't got no money, I don't got no job. So I had to go and get them clothes,
That's why you want that man with $100 million, because you want to be taken care of. You want to just kick your feet up for a second.
Yeah, I do.
You want somebody to treat you the way you always treat people.
Yeah.
And see, that's the part that me and Caresha can relate on 1,000%. I understand where it comes from. I'm not denying that. I'm not dismissing that. I'm not saying that she can't have that want, she can't have that desire. The issue when it comes to Caresha is that she is jeopardizing the $100 million brand that she can build for herself. She's jeopardizing that for a man that is sabotaging what she could have on her own. And women need to know when to recognize that. Okay? And if she were to put her head down and she was to build, then maybe she would find someone that could come in and really help her and take her further or help her to the next level. But it's just not Diddy, though. Does she not know that it's not Diddy? Did she not know that? And then she overshares too much. She overshares too much about what she's willing to do in the bedroom. Like, she made the comment about the golden showers and things like that. And some men are just not going to be comfortable, not necessarily with the idea that that's the type of stuff that you're into sexually. It's just some men are not going to be comfortable with the idea that you put it out here on social media. And then you spoke about that when you were with another man, and now publicly anyone that's seen with you, they have to think about how you were taking golden showers with another man. Ladies, whatever you do in the bedroom, you need to keep that between you, yourself, and your partner. Don't be out here putting that out here on social media. Some men really cannot handle picturing you with another man doing things that maybe they themselves are not even comfortable with. You just never know. Don't shoot yourself in the foot like that.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes.
Got you. With so much happening around you, right? What boundaries have you had to create to protect your peace that you didn't have before?
I don't feel bad about my feelings no more. Like, I can feel away and then I'm like, I won't say that to the person because I don't want them to take it. It's like, if this how I feel, this is how I feel, you gotta respect how I feel. Like, it's literally saying how I feel. Like, no, it's no. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't have to explain myself. I don't care how it makes you feel because I'm the type of person I always put myself on the other side. How does this make this person feel? How I'm look? I don't do that anymore. I don't care.
I love, to go back to the album, I love the Dade County record. What did that record mean to you? Because you got your girl Trina on there, you always say the inspiration for you. Trick is on there, Rick Ross. Like, why did you select those three individuals to do that record?
That's Dade County. Trick, Trina, and Ross. When you think of Dade County, they did so much. And you know, it's not a lot of artists that come from Miami. And they did so much. And it's like, when I listen to the radio station, because I do that a lot, I love hearing like DJ Nasty. They play a lot of Miami mixes and they all mix them in. And I was like, I want to have that same feeling now in my generation. Like when you go listen to the radio, you still hear Trick, Trina, but me and it sound new. And you know, like it's in Miami, the high schools, the bands, it's real big, and I just can hear them doing it like when they doing the games and things like that. That's what inspired that song.
Well, what does Trina mean to you? And then what has she taught you?
Trina, she always just dropping knowledge in me. Like when I first got into this game, she called me, listen, keep your face clean.
I wonder what she telling you now. Cause ain't no way. Let me see. I may skip a little bit. I wonder what Trina is telling her now. Hold on, let me see.
Know what you're doing, know the business, say what you want, like it's what you want. Like don't let nobody take advantage of you. And these men go come, but pick the right one. And if you get in a relationship with them, make sure you come out of that relationship with someone.
Damn.
You said that on Caresha, please.
Yeah. What about professionally though? Just as an artist.
I mean, she always just tell me like, look, you a star, you doing it. Don't let nobody tell you shit. You know, like you show what you can do. It's gonna always be a lot that come with this. And she was like, you got it. Like just believe in yourself, and ain't nothing gonna stop you.
Do you feel like you've been judged fairly?
No, I feel like I've been judged. I feel like I get judged for every single thing that I.
And this is what women need to understand, that you're always going to be judged unfairly by the men that you choose. Ladies, you're always going to be judged unfairly by the man that you choose. So choose wisely. Prime example, Shelly. Okay? And Ace. Shelly was judged at times unfairly. I'm not saying all of it was unfair, but she in the beginning, she didn't deserve to be thrown out there in the crossfire like that. But the man she chose forced her to be judged a lot unfairly, majority unfairly. So Caresha doesn't want to see the role that she plays and why she's currently being judged unfairly. And it's because she is choosing to be attached to a man that is being judged. So that automatically is going to rub off on you. So when you choose a man, you got to choose a man that will represent you publicly. I mean, that's the thing. It's like people feel like I don't be posting what man I'm with, who I'm dealing with publicly, because I have to make sure that man is going to represent me publicly. I can't just be seen with anybody. I can't. People are waiting to see me slip. They're waiting me to be a contradiction. And I know this. So I'm very selective in who I'm seen with publicly, especially romantically, because that could kill my whole brand. I'm not dumb. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, you got to think about this type of stuff. Love ain't enough. I'm sorry. Love is not enough. Love is not enough. When women be thinking love is enough, they end up like a Shelly. They end up like a Halle Bailey. They end up like a Caresha. They end up like women that really thought love was enough, but they didn't think about their brand. They didn't think about their public image. They didn't think about none of that stuff. They just felt like, oh, love. Girl, love don't pay the damn bills, obviously. So that it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. So no, you have to think about that. So she is going to be judged unfairly because of the man that she chose. And since you don't have control over how people judge you unfairly, you do have control over the man that you choose. And you have to be selective in the man that you choose. And you have to ensure that man represents you in the way that you want to be represented. Otherwise, he don't need to make it to the internet. He don't need to make it to a red carpet. He don't need to be seen with you publicly at all. at all. And this is not new. When men want to deal with a 304, they want to deal with a woman that they feel like doesn't really represent them well and doesn't really show them in the way that they want to be seen publicly. That woman is never seen with them on a red carpet, is never seen with them publicly on social media or Instagram. That is a transactional relationship that is done behind closed doors. Those women will never see the light of day unless they get outed on social media or something like that. But they're never really seen. You know they're around. You definitely know they're around, but they're never really seen like that. And that's why the whole situation with Lotto is a joke and is a mess. Because that man didn't want to be seen with her publicly. And y'all need to start asking why. Because the girls be coming at me sideways like, well, he needed a green card. Well, why was he hiding their relationship then? If it was just a situation where he just needed a green card from his wife that he had 2 kids with that also had an outside baby with another woman. And he just needed a green card but couldn't be seen publicly with Lotto. Till this day, he won't post anything really about her other than the fact that she was on the front cover of a magazine. And it really gave, here, damn, take it. I hope women are not being that stupid when it comes to men. Like, that man ain't trying to be seen with you publicly. And there's a reason. And you need to treat men the same way. When you feel like they don't match up, they don't really meet your standards like that, but maybe you just having fun, whatever the case may be, cool. But he don't need to make it to your social media. You don't need to be seen with him publicly. I don't understand why women don't do the same. Oh, I forgot. You catch feelings. You get your emotions involved, and you think you're in love, and da 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 da. And the whole time it's smoke and mirrors.
That I do, and it's just like I've been trying to go down the timeline and figure out when did all this happen and when did this shift, or like what's the problem?
I think it was Caresha.
Girl, it was Diddy. It was Caresha, please. It was you being attached to this man. And that's another thing too, ladies. The man you choose can come with bad energy, bad karma, just bad vibes, darkness. Have you ever been with a man and you lay down with him and it just seemed like he came with a dark ass cloud, and all of a sudden now you struggling with depression, you struggling with anxiety, and you struggling with all these other issues? Everything is just a struggle. Hell, you don't even got energy. You feel drained. You need to kick that man to the curb, okay? That man is not adding anything. He is taking away. That is an energetic leak. So you need to get rid of him. So what changed was Caresha, please. What changed was you being linked to Diddy publicly. That is what changed. And then you already had people out here that was waiting to hate on you. They was waiting for this situation with you and Diddy to fail. They were waiting for your downfall when it came to this situation. And you know what? Caresha really could have came out on top. If she would have ditched and kicked Diddy to the curb, like if she would have kicked his ass to the curb and took his money, do you not understand the girls would be rallying behind her on some, oh no, City Girl up 3,000 points, City Girl up, or City Girl up 100 million points or something like that. But she chose the man over her own fans. She chose the man over her own fans too, right? She could have really came out on top. She could have capitalized off the fact that this was her City Girl message, and rightfully so. Like, she was able to get over on a man that got over on so many people, and people would have seen it as justice being served, karma being served. But no, she chose the man. She chose the man over her own message.
Please. Only because it was such a good podcast that you would get so comfortable on there that you would talk and you would say things and you would give them ammo. Like when you talk about getting peed on.
I made
Oof. It was that liquor.
Don't say you made that up now.
Okay,
no, okay, I made these booty up.
Okay, no, let's talk about it. So I didn't even make that card. I didn't even know what a golden shot was. So I came up with the card's wits on. And when I got to the card, I'm like, what the fuck is a golden shower? And then she was like, you ain't never, da-da-da. I'm like, bitch, no. So when we was doing a podcast, I just did it because I was promoting my game. So I'm thinking that this gonna be something that's just like go viral, but I didn't know it was like a whole thing of like me actually being peed on. And that's something I'm just like, damn, like I should have really thought about that.
Caresha. Are y'all buying that? Wasn't there a situation? I don't remember. This was during the trial. Didn't Cassie testify about being, peed on? And people automatically thought back to when she said that she liked golden showers. I don't really remember, but do y'all remember? Was there a situation where Cassie testified and said that one time she got peed on so bad and so much she thought she was gonna drown? Or was it somebody else? She was like, somebody was peeing in her mouth and she thought she was gonna drown? It was something like that. Y'all let me know. I think I remember something like that, but I need my memory refreshed, because I think when that came out, then people started looking at Caresha like, so it's true? Ooh.
I didn't think it was like a, yeah.
And you were dating somebody named P. Diddy.
I said that.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God,
You did that to yourself.
I know.
That's crazy.
That was one thing that was like, it was good and bad. Because like that was like the most talked about thing ever. And that was 1 month that my sales went skyrocketed. But all money and good money. And that's one thing I was just like,
she did testify that. That's what I thought.
And I always go back to it because I remember calling Brittany. Was like, Brittany, she was like, and even when it came out, she was like, but you didn't even know what the golden show was. And I'm like, it's out there. These people ain't gonna believe me. That's just something that I gotta bite that bullet. Gotta down the hill.
So you never been peed on?
Mm-mm.
So people are not believing you, once again, because of the man that you're linked to. So again, you feel like you're being judged unfairly. But again, it all links back to that man, sis. Just so you know, it all leads back to that man that you choosing to be loyal and down and holding it down with and to. I mean, girl, let that man go. If Caresha was on a ship, if she was on the Titanic, and she could, and she was in a position to where she could save herself, do you not understand that this lady would sink her ship just to keep Diddy on board?
Damn.
No, if I would have I told y'all.
You ain't gotta tell us that.
And then another thing too, it's like I have a feeling that Diddy encouraged this behavior because Diddy knew that the shit about him was gonna come out, and he was trying to normalize it. Like he was trying to normalize that this type of stuff is just sexual and it's just adults doing adult things. It's just a kink. It's no big deal. It's not this and it's not that. Da 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 da. So I think he used Caresha as well. I mean, it's on Caresha Please. It's a platform that he had some type of control over, and it was a show that he helped get in the making. So I think that too, because the timing of it is very interesting, because the documentary really showed that Diddy knew these allegations were lingering for quite some time before he got with Caresha. And so I think he was really using Caresha from the very beginning. Even when it came to her show and the whole golden showers thing, there was some things that he was probably pushing or encouraging her to do and to say or to normalize. And when you're with the man, a man influences your mind. So she was real relaxed and casual with the whole sex talk on her show too. And I really think that it had a lot to do with when these allegations hit the net. My girl that I'm with, she's cool with it.
Everything. I've learned that in life too. You think you gotta share so much because you be in front of these cameras.
And Caresha is playing that role very well.
In front of these microphones, we be over.
But I mean, that's talk about my sexual life. I talk about it. I say it.
Is that when you ever had to explain to your son?
No, we never talked about it. That's one thing that's uncomfortable for me, because I always be like, damn, I do want, because I be thinking about it, and I'm like, damn, like I want to pee. I know he got to get into arguments and shit in school is gonna come eventually, hopefully not. But I'm like, damn, why I did that to myself and my kids.
How do you plan to explain like those complicated adult situations to your child while still trying to like preserve his sense of innocence?
I gotta just tell him what it is. Talk to him like a man. Just literally say, look, I made some mistakes and I think that you gonna make some, and you gotta be mindful of things like this. You gotta learn from me. There's something that I learned, something I'm not proud of and I regret, but don't make the same mistake.
What do you think you've done wrong?
Like that.
Like that's the one?
Yeah, like I hate that. Like I literally be like, why the fuck I did it? It's like, marketing. It's marketing. You say shit. I'm like, that was like a wrong part. But again, I never been peeped.
Baby, you did that because of that man. That man made you feel so comfortable with the shenanigans. Was boosting up your head. Because y'all remember the Caresha Please, the first episode was with Diddy. And he made her feel so comfortable talking about, like, the things that they were doing in the bedroom, or were at least comfortable at hinting at the things that were going on in the bedroom. So, come on now. You did it because that man was in your head and he was influencing you.
So I didn't think that it was like a thing.
So what does accountability look like for you?
Ooh,
Not just publicly, but when you sitting at home in your house just privately, like what does accountability look like for you? When you think like, what did I do wrong? What did I do to cause this to happen?
Yeah. I say like the way that I present myself, the way that I carry myself, the things that I think is fun, like the way I have fun is probably not the way that you have fun. So I think that just polishing up a little bit, toning some things down, or not sharing everything. Like everything, like if I'm outside, I'm having a good time, shaking my ass, maybe I ain't gotta post it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just things like that. I think it's kind of like what I put out there.
But why you figure me and you don't have the same type of fun?
Okay, you are now wanting to change how you're the stuff that you're putting out here, but then you come out with a song that's about Diddy. Because she's using her music to send him messages. If she calls or she reaches out to Diddy, I think she's afraid that, you know, the media may pick it up, or, you know, she's showing that she's closely associated with him right now. She is trying to show us that she's at a distance, but she still supports him because of the type of relationship that they have. So I think that she's been encouraged to stay away, like don't call, don't go to the prison cell or the prison to visit, don't do any of that. But how could she send a message to Diddy? Through a song. So I think that's what that is. I think that's what that is. So you want to change all of these things appearance-wise, but you really don't want to change your mind. You're not really reflective. You're not introspecting on how everything happened, how it made you look, how you played a role in it. It's just a mess.
And what do you like to do that I probably wouldn't like to do?
Probably like hang out at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
The club when we tried to get on the boat.
Nah.
Yeah.
I used to like G5 though.
Yeah.
G5 was the fire spot. Do you feel like you're finally in control of your narrative?
No.
Yeah, I think that now I get a chance to really tell my story, you know, and nobody control the narrative but you. Mm-hmm. You the one that's putting out whatever it is. You the one that's feeding whatever it is that you're feeding. So, yeah.
What scares you more, starting?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, y'all. That's why I said this is like a special type of slow. She's not in control of her own narrative because of her attachment to Diddy. If she would just detach, she would be in control of her own narrative and she could start writing it with a clean slate. But because she is choosing to remain tethered to a man that is literally harming her from a jail cell, is insane. Like, she's delusional if she thinks that she's in control of her own narrative. She's not in control of her own narrative. She may think she is, but the public is not receiving it that way.
Over solo or being misunderstood forever?
Being misunderstood forever, because I think that people that really know me, that really like know who I am as a person, I'm nothing like what's out there. Nothing. Like, absolutely not. And I hate that. I hate that it's out there. It's like a stain. I just be like, what? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But I mean, it's like a big thing.
Well, you know, the time.
And then another reason, like, people can't take Caresha serious was because she was out here talking big shit. She was out here talking big shit like Lotto was talking big shit. Lotto was talking big shit. Caresha was talking big shit. Caresha was talking big shit. She even came out. She was doing videos with Diddy of coming out of the Chanel store. She was writing captions on her Instagram. She was doing a lot. She was really doing a lot. She was telling everybody how much he was paying her on a monthly basis. So another reason why people are just not taking her serious is because, girl, you talk too much shit to be in this fucked up situation. And that's just me being real as hell. You talked way too much shit.
I was gonna say time can fix all, right?
Yeah.
I remember when you said your music was getting shelved. Mm-hmm. Was it getting shelved by QC?
I think at one period of time, I think they was just turned off with us as a group. Mm-hmm. Like, they just felt like we was letting the group go, this the investment. You know how that shit, they was just over it. So when we started branching off in our solo era, I think that when it came to me, I feel like I always I feel like I just, when it comes to music, I get it hard. And I think that I was presenting the music, some of like the songs that I got now, it was just like, no, it's not growth there. No, we're talking about the same shit. And I'm just like, well, we always saying the same shit.
The thing that is creatively blocking Caresha is her lack of healing from her trauma and doing the inner work. Seriously, I don't think y'all understand how creative you could be if you go and you revisit earlier points in your life. Do you not understand, like, the most incredible stories have been written from pain, trauma, memories, childhood, and past experiences? She is literally blocking herself off completely from that vault of creativity, all because she feels like it's something that's a waste of time. And then her label is telling her, no, when it comes to this song, because they don't see any growth. And the reason they don't see any growth is because she's not doing any real work to grow, to create, or to make better music.
Shit, I mean, I just feel like this is the music that I make.
When you say we all saying the same shit, like you mean like the guys were making the
I feel like
same kind of music?
all female rappers now. That's like the music, the topic, the subject. It's all the same. We just saying it in different ways.
I like what QC did for a lot of their artists, but I do feel like, man, they dropped the ball on a couple of y'all projects in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was y'all or I know that one album came out during the pandemic. That what was that? I can't remember what album that was.
That was
Broke Niggas Don't Deserve No
That
Pussy,
was the one that was I don't know if it was Girl Code or City on Lock. It was City on Lock.
Yeah, the one with Doja Cat was on there. Yeah, I feel like that one should have really went, but it was the pandemic. Like I was like, why even put out an album during that time? Like, did they make you do that?
But people couldn't do nothing but be at home and listen to music. Like everybody was in the house. Remember they had the quarantine lives and stuff like that. So I think that it was just a time when people was just.
Girl, we up in the house. The type of music that you was putting out is just not the type of music you listen to when you up in the house. It's the type of music you listen to when you outside, you in the streets.
In the house listening to music, but I think that we wanted, like, for instance, we wanted to have Circulator as a single. They didn't, and then the song once it got leaked, then they ended up wanting like this is a song. We was like, we was because we wanted Circulator. They wanted Pinata. Let's make them do that song. We was like, we want Circulator. They wanted Pinata, so they went Pinata. Circulator ended up going after that. But then you know how the fans, they was like, oh God, y'all did a video after that. We ain't know no more. We and then it was more like pointing fingers, and then it's one of those things.
So what's the difference between that situation and your new situation with?
I think I'm in control now.
They bleeped out Diddy's name. Did y'all catch that? Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Okay, hold on. 45.
After that, we ain't know no more. We and then it was more like pointing fingers, and then it's one of those.
So what's the difference between that situation and your new situation with?
I think I'm in control now. I think that I make my own decisions, and I think that you just support me.
What's the lesson in all this for you and the people watching?
Caresha, girl. Let that be a wake-up call. Oh my God, y'all. They bleeped out his name. That's crazy.
The lesson in all what?
Just this existence that Caresha has gone through. All of these things that we've seen publicly and privately. When you sit here in this very moment right there looking at me, what do you think the lesson has been? Life is a journey, and it's going to be different phases of life. And I feel like I am perfectly flawed. I have flaws to me. Like, I'm going.
I thought so too. But what I think the difference is, like, he said Diddy support and he didn't just say Diddy's name. I think that's the difference. I think Diddy support, because again, even in the title it says Diddy support, right? But I don't think that he's allowed to just say the name by itself. I think that that's what that is. Like, just they're hinting at that's who they're talking about, but can't just drop his name by itself. So they cut it out.
Well, I'm a human, so I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna go through things. But y'all have watched me from when I first started to now, and it's a journey. And it's an open journey. And
listen, the reason is because a lot of these, this all comes down to business. And this is the thing that's pissing me off when it comes to Caresha. Because, baby, you got to think about the business of this. Like, you making this all personal with Diddy. And, girl, nobody care about that. This is the business side. Same thing with iHeartRadio, right? Like, this is the business side. They bleeped out his name because of their advertisers. Because of their endorsement deals and things like that. So they're going to bleep out his name. Caresha, let that be a damn clue. No wonder she's just losing deals and brands and opportunities and things like that. Hell, even iHeartRadio is like, not us. So if you're not saying Diddy support, or you not saying, you can't just say Diddy alone. Like, you can't just say his name. That's crazy, y'all. That is crazy. And I don't know. I got to go back and look to see if the name was dropped again. But I think it was the way it was framed before it was her supporting. So I got to see. But no, they definitely bleeped that out. What was the other reason for them bleeping that out? All he said was his name. And that was the only part that they bleeped out. There wasn't another jump or a cut in between there. How do I know? Because I be editing. They only blocked out his name.
I want y'all to come on this journey with me, and we'll look back and say, I'm so proud of you. Like, you really went through all that shit. You said that. You took accountability. You cleaned up. You realized what was wrong, and you came far. Like, that's what I want to put out there.
What does success look like for you in regards to this album?
Success at, like, Billboard, Grammy, touring, and just really showing people, like, okay, we underestimated her. Being an underdog, coming out on top.
Well, Caresha, nice to meet you again.
Yes, you meeting a whole new, like, this is.
I feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've been around you a bunch of times. I feel like I'm meeting a whole new individual.
Because you know why? I think that, like, I was always, whenever we come and we do these runs, it's promoting something, it's selling something. So I was always trying to sell something. Like, I gotta, I'm more of like, I don't gotta do all that. Now, it's like less is more. Just go in there and just have a conversation. You don't gotta go and be extra and do this and do that. Like, people gonna fuck with you.
I just want you to know, it's gonna be a little uncomfortable. And the reason it's gonna be a little uncomfortable because you really are standing alone. Like, there's no JT.
And it's really gonna be interesting now because Caresha really shot herself in the foot because she can't be hypersexual. Y'all are aware that she can't lead with sexuality like that before. That's why she's saying, oh, I don't want to be doing the most. I don't want to twerk. Because let's just be real. The girls be twerking to sell songs and to sell albums. Like some of these labels are literally saying you need to twerk with that song or you need to do something sexual with that song. Because that's the only way it's going to get pushed. So it's going to be interesting to see because Caresha sold a lot of sex with her lyrics. And now that has left a stain on her reputation because of the man that she was associated with, what is her plan for selling music now? That's the reason why she dressed in this like cardigan, sweater, attire. And then she's always wearing like necklaces and things. I wonder, this is Chanel. Did Diddy buy her that too? Is that Chanel? Yeah. Did he gift her that and it was like, you're the key to my heart or some bullshit like that when he was love bombing her? Because you know she famous wearing necklaces that symbolize what they had.
There's no Diddy is really just.
And I love, and that's why I love it. Because y'all saw me with JT. Y'all saw me with Diddy. And now y'all see me by myself. And I'm going to show y'all what I can do.
Thank you, Caresha.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
So she can, so she can say his name, but Charlamagne can't? Because they definitely bleeped out Charlamagne saying his name. I got to go back and watch. I got to go back and look. I really do. I got to go back and look. Listen, when it comes to Caresha, she needs to do an Angela White. She needs to go from Black China to Angela White. She needs to go from Young Miami to Caresha. Not Caresha, please. Caresha and whatever her last name is. That's what she needs to do. She needs to do a full-blown healing and public redemption transformation. She should focus on her authenticity, her vulnerability. She should touch on her trauma and raising her kids alone more because that would show some relatability. People would probably be more, I don't know, supportive. Maybe show her a little more compassion. That would show some humility on her part as well. Like, you know, she's a mom. She's raising her kids. She's doing alone. That would show some type of relatability. Her name is oh no, y'all joking. Is Brownlee? Yeah, Caresha Brownlee. That's how she needs to rebrand herself. Not Caresha Please, because again, that's associated with Diddy. She needs to start completely over. She needs to start completely fresh. This would be her level up. If I was to talk to her, I'm like, girl, this is your level up. She needs to express her truth raw And the public will, in my opinion, lean more towards forgiving her. Okay. I think they would rally up behind her. I'm slowly starting to see the transition with Shelly as well. But she has to completely separate herself from Diddy. Otherwise, she can forget people forgiving her publicly, and she can forget people rallying behind her. If she really wants to see people really support her and what she got going on, she has to completely separate herself from Diddy. And she has to get into her authenticity and her vulnerability. And she has to express herself based off of things that she has gone through. But at first, she has to make the choice to go back and revisit those things. That could help her creatively as well. She needs to understand that her loyalty belongs to herself first. It belongs to herself and her children. It should not be given to a man. It should always be given to yourself first, because a man can always be a liability to you. So you ultimately have to have that loyalty with yourself. And the only way that you remove your loyalty from other people outside of yourself is when they become a liability to your peace, when they become a liability to your goals, your life, your ambitions, and the things that you truly want for yourself and how you see your future. Otherwise, you can remain loyal to them. But as soon as they start to become a liability to your future plans and anything that you got going on with your personal dealings and things like that, they got to go. Loyalty has expired. She also needs to step out of the Diddy headlines. Like, this is a Diddy headline. The way they titled this video, this is a Diddy headline. She made a Diddy headline again, and she needs to completely separate herself from that. She needs to step into this healing woman, mother image. I do believe, and this may be an unpopular opinion, I do believe that Caresha is meant to be a light for other women who have came from a similar environment as her. But her purpose is to show them how to evolve past the toxic environment and this toxic code and rule about loyalty. Like, she needs to really truly grow and evolve in that area. Also, her not wanting to deal with her trauma, like I said, it is a major creative block for her. She talks about, grief and trauma and all of that. And it just seems like she really hasn't unpacked that at all. Like, she really needs to go and she really needs to unpack that. And I think that if she were to share little bits and pieces, like maybe she could do like a vlog, start a YouTube channel or something like that, that maybe she could redeem herself that way. But it's not going to be done the more she keeps showing her support when it comes to Diddy. Like, it's not going to clean up her image. It's not going to separate herself from any of the dealings that Diddy has going on with his personal life and his business and his public dealings and things like that. So it's better for her to just go ahead and separate herself. Now, I know this may also be unpopular, but what I was wanting to see, I wanted to see Caresha separate from Diddy right before he got locked up. I wanted her to spin it like, I'm a city girl and I get the bag and I move on. That's what I really wanted to see. But she caught feelings, she fell in love, and she wants to be loyal. She still has the ability to redeem herself, but she has to put herself first. She has to choose herself first. And for whatever reason, she's just slow to doing that. But in this interview, she said that she doesn't really trust people like that. She only trusts God and her kids. And I'm like, okay, so you don't even trust the man that you're being loyal to. That doesn't make sense, sweetie, at all. So these are things that I think people want to see from her. I think people want to see her go on a healing journey. I think people want her to heal in similar ways that Black China chose to. And I think that that's the transformation that she's wanting for herself, but she just doesn't know how to go about it. And I'm telling you now that if she tries to pull this whole, I'm transforming through just my image and my aesthetic, that's not going to stick. That's not going to work. People want something real. People want something authentic. People want something raw. They want something that's really true and that really signifies to them that you have really changed. And it can't just be through these curated interviews. It can't be through these curated conversations that you have with people that just make you super comfortable and they enable the choices in your decisions. I'm not really saying that Charlamagne Tha God did that, but I felt like he could have pushed back a little bit more when it comes to some of her thought process, because some of the stuff that she was saying, y'all, was it just me or was it not making sense? Some of the stuff that she was saying, it just wasn't making sense. I also feel like it's crucial for her to separate herself from Diddy, because I don't feel like Caresha is really being herself. There's a part of me that feels like Diddy is still in her head, and everything that she does is calculated based off of what would benefit the both of them. And it's very clear that she's still not moving in a solo act type of mentality, that she's still considering him when it comes to certain things that she's doing, certain things that she's saying, and what she's choosing to involve herself in publicly. So that's pretty much all that I have regarding this video. But let me know down below, do you think that she's trying to get back with Diddy when he gets out? Let me know. Do you think that they're gonna try to like do like some type of rendezvous and some type of duo publicly? Let me know. I really don't want to think that Caresha would be dumb enough to do something like that, but you let me know. Do you think that they're gonna try to run it back? He gets released from prison, and she's right there by his side, and she's ready to help him prove that he's a changed man. Let me know, because you got to remember, in the beginning of this interview, she said she watched her mother do it. And that's all I'm going to say. Y'all let me know what you think down below in the comment section. And I hope to see you in my next one. Let me know what else you would like for me to talk about. And thank you for joining me. Good night.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.